This music's shit. I don't know. The best I could find. Let me find something else. Hey, look, there I am. Look at that. Look a bit rough. Rough and ready. I don't know. Let's turn it down a bit. There we go. What's the date? 14th. Don't have a ton of video games to talk about this week. But hey, I can't play video games every week. That would be crazy. Uh-oh, I'm getting messages. Hello. Typing back. That's what I'm doing. It's really warm in here. And I can't have the fan on because I can hear it. Oh, it's Mario now. Okay. What's your name? The robot suggested that. What robot? And so on. Oh, this is a freaky mix. It's like an Ibiza mix of madness. Everybody get your hands in the air! Come on! Here we go! And the Virgin scream! You know. Oh, there we go.
Is the answer?
Hello?
Hey! How you doing?
Hello.
Hello! Yeah, that's just slightly weird.
What up, Duchess?
Yeah. Not any less weird.
Chinny, that's lovely.
Yeah, it is. Who knew?
How
Who knew
are
it was such
we?
I'm
Better
good.
now you're talking normally, not doing some weird noise.
Can we sound clip that?
I don't. You see, right,
You're angry streak at them. You see?
Oh, fuck you.
Wow.
God. I thought that was actually Ginny just making weird noises and then realised it
You
wasn't.
see? You see?
Beep, 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 beep.
You see?
Beep, 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 beep.
Stop playing it too. You see?
Great radio.
Oh my God, this is my head hurts.
Let's start the motherfucking show.
If anyone has any reason not to start the program, speak now or forever be silent. And away we go!
Welcome yo to the
Oh, it's
Veteran
on.
Gamers. Juju, Jimmy, and the fellas will tell you about every single game that you're playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Jimmy's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
Here comes the Sticker Man.
Yeah, shut up, kid.
It's the Veteran Gamers.
After a hard day killing zombies, I kick back and listen to the Veteran Gamers podcast.
switch that console off before you have to press repeat.
We ain't doing geometry. We try to play some games.
Hello and welcome to episode 458 of the... Oh my god, that's such a scary face. What the hell is going on?
Come on, focus. Finish your
Why don't
introduction.
alienate the audio viewers,
I
I'm
know,
Stu?
sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's
It's
try this
you.
again. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't play the whole.
No, I'll just do it now. Hello and welcome to the Veteran Gamers episode 458.
Yeah, 458. We're feeling great. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
I'm Chinny.
Yeah.
Hey.
We want Chili Willy. We want Chili Willy.
So it's the week of what? The 14th of October. How is everybody doing this mid-October day?
All
Fine.
right.
I took a
Yeah.
nap. I got some energy now.
Wow. How long was your nap?
It was like an hour and a half. It was a good nap.
I'm trying
Wow, that's-
something new
that's
on the
good.
stream. I don't know if you've seen the video,
It looks great.
but
Yeah.
like
Attention, listeners, it's a tiny little window in the middle of the blackness.
it's I think people are trying too much on graphics these days, and I've stripped it all back, and I've made the webcam the size of a postage stamp,
It's simplicity. That's what.
and I'm
works.
just in the middle of
It's-
darkness. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know, actually, it's small enough that I can put, like, the pointer of the mouse cursor over your face and it covers it pretty much up.
It's like the Spinal Tap album cover. It's like, how much more black can it be? And the answer is like, none more black.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm going to go ahead and describe what's going on the screen at all times for the audio listeners. So you're welcome. This will be a one-time fun thing.
It is. I
Yeah.
don't even know what to say anymore. I'm looking at
There's
it.
a-
Oh, well, that's all right. We're back.
Screen.
Jesus Christ. Thank God for that.
Yeah. There's a Facebook icon and a Twitter icon and a Tumblr icon. No,
Okay,
that's a Twitter.
I'm already
It's a different Twitter icon.
yeah. I don't know why there's two Twitter icons on the thing.
My favorite time. It's story time. Story
Well, you can either
time.
tell us the story of
Well,
that.
I'll tell you
What
what,
do we do?
right? I got this story, right, where, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
so I got up and then I went, you know, and then, and then, you know what I mean? And then,
Sounds like the Fast Show.
hey, Extra
exciting.
Life is starting soon.
That's not a story though. That's
Fuck
a
off.
that's a coming attraction.
Fuck off.
That's true. That's true.
So, Extra Life is coming on the 3rd of November. The
3rd
3rd.
of November.
So
That's
what are you-
only like 2
Here.
weeks.
It's only 2 weeks away. I'm going to
Or
be
so,
doing it
some of it.
with
Summit.
my brother.
You're gonna be doing it with your brother.
And the theme this year is going to be
Ginger balls.
just the two of us. So everything's going to be co-op games.
Ooh.
I see what you did there.
So we're going to play co-op games together. So obviously I'm
Nice.
not the only person doing Extra Life. We have a lot of people. If you just Google, right? If you go on Google, yeah, let me do it live on the stream.
Do it live, man. Do it live.
Right. Look.
While Chinny's putting that together, here's a little music.
I see the crystal raindrops fall and the beauty of it all. When the sun
We're going to get fucking... Just turn it off. Fuck me. I'm sick of these
That happens
copyright...
every week. Just get used to
Jesus
the copyright.
Christ.
What's the upshot? You just delete them,
I
right?
just get an annoying email, right, and a
Yeah,
big
yeah, we get
sticker.
that.
That's worth it.
But
for us to
sometimes,
produce
Eric,
a
Eric,
high-quality multimedia
Eric,
experience.
Eric,
Attention,
Eric,
listeners.
Eric,
you can get a
Eric,
Google search.
Eric. Sometimes, right, they block the videos.
Yeah.
Well,
Stop
that's a
it.
more important consequence. Thank you for letting me know.
And sometimes we get 6 of those in a single week.
Fine. What if I just sing it?
Yeah,
No,
that
well,
probably-
I'm going to type it in. So I'm on Google now.
Just the
This,
two of us.
this is a
We
website.
can make it if we try.
Oh my god, we
I
can't
think we'll
make it
just
if
take
we
the
try.
copyright claim.
So this is Google. So if you type in anything, you know, big black, I won't finish that. But anyway,
Power Movement Organization.
yeah, that's what I was gonna type. So you know, if you type into Google VG Hub, and then
Wait a minute. Wait. Stop.
Extra Life.
Stop. Chinny, do you mean to tell us that when you open a new tab, Google itself is what comes up?
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
nuts? How do you not have something else on your new tab button?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Hey,
up
do you
with
know
that?
there was this one time when I was searching for the British Broadcasting Corporation, I got something totally different.
Yes, all right. Big black cock jokes aside. So
Stu, what's on your new tab button?
Oh my God!
I don't know. Let me have a look. New
Shut
tab.
up!
I've
Don't
got
know. How do you
Google.
not know? What is
Google's on my new tab.
It's like
I'm-
y'all act like the internet just came about last year.
What
the
do you have on
hell?
your new tab?
Google News.
Fuck the news. Have you read the news? It's
Who
depressing.
cares about news, man?
All right.
Hey, man, there is no excuse for turning away from the realities of our world. Colette said, look at that which pleases you for a long
Yeah,
time.
but sometimes
This-
news is
long
exaggerated,
time.
man. People make
We are
shit
now
up.
looking at the results from what Chinny typed in, which was VW Hub Extra Life, which is a
Dunno.
group of auto
No,
enthusiasts.
no, it said, did you
video
mean VW Hub? But no, VG Hub,
Oh.
first link takes you
you're
to the extralife.org page. And then you go
Nice.
to our VG Hub, join the team. And you can see so far our goal is $10,000. And we have 1,415. That's a good start. We've not even
How
started
much did we
yet.
raise last year?
We raised, I don't know.
25 pence, I think.
I think it was no, I think it was about $6,000 last year. So we're
$6,000.
reaching, we're reaching
Jesus.
our
Set
goal.
far higher.
So, you know, and if you click on the roster, you'll be able to see all the members of the team. The captain, of course, is Gary D. Felice over there in Jersey.
Gary.
And Greg DeLacy. They've already raised, Gary's raised $520 because he's a criminal. And Greg,
Criminal.
yeah, has already raised 380 because he's a whore. And he, Daniel Natman, $200. Gary Lever's in there. You know, there's money on the board. In fact, me and Pete are the only people that don't have cash in our Extra Life bank accounts, right?
Oh, dear.
So, for all the people that listen to this show and they go, hey, guys, I love this show. I want to give back. How do I give you money? And we say, we don't take
This is how
money.
you do-
We don't take money. We don't want money for this show. But hey, this is your
Look,
chance to
speak for
do
yourself, man.
it. This is your
This
chance.
is how you do it.
Or you could just stop listening because it's a piece of shit because everybody interrupts me
This
all the
is how
time.
you do it.
Piece of
So
shit.
so
of
donate if you want to donate to me or Pete or anybody else on the VG Hub team. Pete's doing some fundraising himself. I think he's doing some swimming or something. So that's it. VG Hub, Extra Life, and you'll find us and just donate. I will be streaming as usual the whole 24 hours.
And it's lit. Chinny doesn't do like boring, just him there. He's got people coming on.
He's lit,
wearing
like, totally lit.
hats.
Yeah.
In the past, he's had people coming on and like guest starring. His
Tara-
brother was sleeping on the floor at one point. I think.
That's right. Tara always likes to throw a bit of a party every Extra Life.
Party.
So she puts like food on and she makes sure that I'm fed and yeah, it's a good time. So
We never do just one thing around here, people. Like for instance, during the podcast today, I'm folding my laundry and then I'm gonna pay some bills.
Pay
brilliant.
some bills.
So
all-
that's
One
all
thing
I
just-
wanted to say. Okay, can we just nip it in the bud with the interrupting? Jesus
What?
Christ, I feel like a teacher. Duke's the teacher.
Teacher.
it's a
Teacher. Who are you
byline.
teaching?
All right, I'm done with the Extra Life spiel. Donate, you fucking selfish fucks. Done. That's my story time over.
What you been playing?
No, fuck that shit, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ah,
Well, I guess it
crap.
comes into this, doesn't it? You know, I guess it is. Hey,
Oh,
But
huh?
so Dungeons and Dragons people.
oh,
Oh yeah, that's right. Stu played Dungeons and Dragons this past week, and we're gonna hear all about his exciting adventures.
So
First
are
of
you
all,
ready?
what kind of character do you have?
A cleric.
A cleric. You're a healer.
Yeah, healer. But do some magic shit, you know, because I don't want to just be doing like, hitting stuff with a sword. I want to,
What kind of match are you?
spells.
No.
I don't know. Here's the thing.
No, didn't you just
Well-
play this?
Well, here's the thing. So we were meant to be playing on Saturday,
And then it didn't happen. The end.
and no, it kind of. But
Oh, I
here's
can't
the,
just
here's
tell
the
that story.
thing.
I gotta go on for 20 minutes about how it didn't happen.
Shut up. So here's the
Oh,
thing.
I'm going to the bathroom.
So Millie decided to get the norovirus, we think.
Oof, I'm sorry.
So
That's no fun.
she, on Friday night, started obviously late on Friday night, spewing up, and did till about 6 o'clock the following morning.
I'm sorry.
she's so
So-
selfish.
I know. And obviously, guys decided maybe not a good idea to risk getting sick by coming here in case, obviously, it's like spreadable. I've been keeping well clear of it, you know.
Yeah.
Because, geez, I don't want to be spewing up anywhere.
No.
So it didn't happen. So it's been postponed. But that being said, I have been doing a lot of reading of rules and dice rolls, and freak me, this game's complicated.
Yes, that's what makes it interesting. Is that there's rules upon rules upon rules.
It's even like, right, because I was going to be the dungeon master because you like balked out and said you wouldn't do it, right?
Yep.
So then we asked Phil, Phil Fee, because he's big into this. He's played this game before. He knows what's to what.
Yeah.
But he was on a cruise in the Canary Islands. So that didn't happen.
So
you could have done it from the cruise ship.
I guess.
All right, you see a fish in front of you, I guess. I don't know.
So I was going to be the DM, right? I've got this starter pack. It comes with a ready.
Slide into the DMs.
Exactly. It comes with a ready-made adventure, so it like goes you through like the an adventure.
Yeah,
so
I like when it goes you through it.
Well, I guide you through it. I don't know. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean. So yeah, it guides you through, but it's meant to be for 4 to 6 players. Well, there are only 2 of them and me, you see. So this might be a problem.
Well, whatever. You can adjust it on the fly.
Well, when I read up, it said just like don't have as many monsters or something. Make it a bit easy.
Contingency plan.
Yeah, just make
you have to be able to think on your feet if you're going to be a good DM, yo.
Well, it was even right. I'm reading like the rules and stuff, and it says like what's this like check roll or whatever the hell it's called, where you have to do
Look, here's the thing. When you live your life, there are certain things that will happen because of luck. There will be certain things that happen because you're smart, because you're quick on your feet, because you're strong. And so in the Dungeons and Dragons world, in order to figure out those things, you need a random number generator, RNG. You may have heard that term in association with video games. So when you play The Witcher, for instance, and you attack a monster, it's rolling dice behind the scenes to see how well you did. And we just don't see that stuff coming up in terms of the random numbers being compared. But there's always, like when you have a sword that has a chance to poison the enemy. It's not going to poison the enemy every time, but there's a chance it will poison the enemy. You have a protection. So that's what the dice rolls are. That's what the saving throws are. Somebody casts, upset stomach on you. You have a saving throw to see if you're going to get an upset stomach. When the Duchess grows broccoli, she has a saving throw to see how much broccoli she's going to harvest. In this case, it's 2 little cute nubbins. Thank you, Duchess.
Okay.
And that's the story of saving throws.
No, but there's not saving, but there's this check throw that you have to do if someone's like searching a drawer. What's that called?
Same idea. You check to see how much is in there. If there's 3 gold pieces or 20 gold pieces or whatever. It's the same. It's a way of randomizing the experience.
But then there's all this, right? Okay, I'm going to get into it, I guess, when we start having a go at this.
Go ahead.
When we have a go at this.
You're lucky.
Then there's
a really helpful guide here for you.
Exactly, but you've got to really listen to what people is, because if they don't say I searched the drawer.
Exactly right. People need to be specific when they're role playing. That's the whole role playing element of it. Listen to the Adventure Zone. I'm telling you, this is a funny podcast.
I need to have a listen to this, because I was reading through all this stuff and thinking I'm really gonna have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
But it's part of the fun is learning as you go. Like that's part of it.
Because, I've got to put on the voices for the monsters and the.
You like doing voices? Talk about.
I know. I think I'll be all right. I think I'll make quite a good DM once I get the hang of it.
That'll be great. You're gonna fall in love with it, and then every week you're gonna come back and go, oh, and now they're gonna go into the caves of madness.
Stu, can you give me like an old monster voice?
Okay, old monster voice. Well, do you know what? I'm gonna rely on sort of cinema tropes for a monster voice, which is
that's okay.
All right, how's it going? I'm going to kick your ass.
So it's like a Cockney monster.
Yeah,
sounds like an orc.
That's what they all do, don't they? That's what happens.
And by the way, on the screen we have 2 people, Society for Creative Anachronism, fighting in a field.
Yep.
Yeah. So look, right, I'm gonna have a go. We're hopefully rearranged it for this week, so it could be Thursday night now. So we're looking at Thursday night to sort it out. Yeah, and then we're gonna get into this thing and play some D&D, man, and totally nerd out.
Okay.
sorry. I want to get to this.
I
Yeah.
know you do. Obviously, you can't talk about D&D for like longer than.
Not everybody's excited to hear every
Well,
nanosecond.
people might be. Look, some nerds out there who listen to the show now will be
you
thinking,
gonna
look,
say?
I've always wanted to go. What
Chin, what were you
happened?
gonna say?
Pay to win now in the chat says my wife and I role play.
Yeah, I don't think he's talking about.
So what is it like D&D?
No, it's like future science fiction roleplay, probably.
S&D, maybe.
Ah,
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna get into it. I'll let you know how it goes next week.
I'm
because
sure you
hopefully-
will. I didn't
Of
once.
course I will.
Stu, I didn't sit here thinking, oh, I hope Stu tells me next week because I know
I
you will.
I bet you were. I bet you were, really. So, dude,
you
before we
take
before
a dump
we do
without
move,
telling us about it.
before
That's
we do move on, what are the best characters for a beginner to play as?
Fighter, mage, cleric.
Anything.
See, is a mage a good thing because aren't they a bit
Yes.
complicated?
It can be, but any character type, any class has its things you need to learn about. And with the mage, one of the things that people get frustrated about with D&D most often is that they're not powerful enough. Well, as soon as you start casting magic missiles, you can feel the power coursing through your fingertips, literally. But in the
Jesus
case
Christ.
of D&D, it's figuratively.
So is there a cleric, a mage, and a wizard? I'm confused now.
No, mage and wizard. same
Over. This is
thing.
over.
Okay, moving on. I played the team for what you've been playing. Who's starting?
I don't know. Chitty, you can start.
Chitty.
I don't know.
Oh, that'll
Go
be
for
easy.
it.
A bit of
Fiction.
Spider-Man.
Swinging through his town like the neighborhood Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Over.
Spider-Man. What, is that it?
I played a bit of it.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Do you
Nothing to
want?
say about this game you played a lot about?
It's good.
Yeah.
I said it last
Okay.
week. Hey, do you like
Yeah.
Spider-Man? Yeah.
I
Do you want
guess.
to? Do you want to
Yeah.
play it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play it
Can I
then.
come over and play it now?
Fucking good. It's
Okay.
it's a very video game. It doesn't
Yes.
do anything new, but
That's
everything
fine.
it does is polished.
Sweet.
So can everyone come round to your gaff to play Spider-Man?
Of course
then? Is
they
that what you're
can.
telling us? Just all crowd
Uh,
round to your house.
Always is.
Mhm,
Come on around.
Yeah.
come round.
No, I don't have anything else to say. It's great, but I don't have anything
Okay,
else to
next
say about it.
game then. Go, move quickly to a game you do have something to say about.
He hasn't played anything
That's it.
else.
If you read
Oh,
the
really?
show
Oh,
notes, I
wow.
put fuck all.
Don't look
Yeah,
at the
I've seen that.
notes.
So
I've
why
had a-
is this? What is there a particular reason why you've not played Sod All?
I've had a very, very busy week this week.
Or should I say have played Sod All because that was a double negative, so that didn't work.
Thank God you clarified that.
Oh my god.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when there's an English teacher on the podcast.
It's been a
Jeez.
busy week.
So that's okay.
Alright, my
Jude,
turn.
Your
Yeah.
turn.
Right, my turn. I played some more Rocket League. What? But I don't really have anything to say about that. But I've been playing Delete, which is I think I've talked about this before at some point, maybe a little bit. It's a puzzle game, kind of like Minesweeper, kind of like Hex Cells. If you like Minesweeper, you like Hex Cells, you like trying to figure out where in Minesweeper it's bombs, in Hex Cells it's numbers, or it's like I don't know what they are in Hex Cells. But anyway, so the point is you have in Hex, you know Minesweeper, right? You get numbers,
yeah.
you have to use the numbers to figure out where the bombs
Where
are.
the
in
bombs are.
Right.
Yeah, we
Well,
talked about
this-
this. Chini knew what the hell you were talking about. I had no clue.
Well, I'm telling you now.
Okay.
Is that this game is basically like Minesweeper in 3 dimensions. So you have a grid, you have a cube, system of cubes, and I'm gonna chop you up in little cubes.
Nice.
And you have to figure out where they're basically red. You're gonna make them red when you identify them, and you have buttons sometimes that will collapse or expand things, and you have sometimes it'll rotate stuff, or you'll have so usually it'll say, like, if you have a 0, when you push that button, the 0 number, it'll light up squares around you those are all the squares in which there are no bombs. And then if you have a 1, the squares around it are the ones that there's 1 bomb in the squares around it. And occasionally you'll have them with on the corners, and it'll say in these corners you have either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bombs nearby. I guess you couldn't have 5 nearby for a corner piece, and then sometimes you have on the sides, so it's just along, it's in a directional arrow thing. It's very interesting. It's very it fills the niche. It scratches that itch for puzzle stuff. I can do one of these, feel satisfied, and then go play something else. It's a really well-made game. It's very polished. The aesthetics are lovely. Sounds good. Music. I think I turned off the music, but it's yeah, it's great. I like it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I don't think I know what to do.
Well, it takes some practice, but the early, it does a very good job of walking you through it. So when you first turn it on, it's, it's a very simple puzzle that it's obvious what the answer is. You have, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's basically there's two squares on the grid. One of them has a 1 and the other one is yellow. And then when you press the 1, it'll light up the yellow one. And then you're supposed to right click the yellow one to indicate that that's where the bomb is. And then you solve that puzzle.
So, I mean, there's a guy on screen here trying to get everything to 0, because that's what it looks like, isn't it?
Exactly. You want everything to get to 0. Because as soon as you have a 0, see, 0 is magic. As soon as you see a 0, you get happy, because it means that if there's no little arrows or corner pieces around it, then all the squares surrounding that 0 do not have bombs in them. And therefore, you can left click on them, and it will reveal a number underneath. And then you can click that to figure out, okay, in the surrounding boxes around this, there are 3. And then you have to try to figure out, okay, which are the 3.
So what represents a bomb then?
The red boxes are the bombs.
Okay. Wow.
So you see on the left side there, well, I guess there's a delay in the stream, but he had just clicked the 2 and there were 2 lights that came on near it.
Yeah.
You click a 1, there's 1 light near it, and then you turn that red. So anyway, whatever. It's kind of boring to describe it, and it's it's not a game for everyone. But for those of you who like a little puzzleness here and there, it's a good game to play. The end.
There you go. Wow.
Stu, talk about a game.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a game because I went around to my mate's house, who has the HTC Vive.
Ooh.
And yeah, he's bought a game called Beat Saber.
Ooh, this is like
yeah.
a melody game for VR.
It is a melody game for VR, but it also has lightsabers, of course, because that's why it's called Beat Saber.
Yeah.
Now this was shown at EGX on the PlayStation VR, so that's or the Sony VR or whatever. That's what it was shown on. And here's the thing, right? It's a really, really good game, but I can't imagine playing this on Sony VR as opposed to HTC Vive.
Why?
Is it really that different?
Gameplay-wise, no.
Okay.
But track-wise, yes. Because obviously on the Sony, you're stuck with the stock songs that come with the game.
This one lets you get into your game library, your music library.
Not gonna know. I mean, not that they're bad. These songs are fine and they're sort of got good beats and stuff like that, but they're not something if you know what I mean.
I know.
Whereas on HTC, on the old Steam, you can get a mod which allows you to download licensed songs, which probably is a little bit illegal, I guess.
You know what they need to do? They need to link these games up with Spotify. Once they link these with Spotify, it's going to change the game.
It is, but somebody has to spend the time mapping all of the, where you're going to have to hit stuff.
But once you put it out, I mean, look at Wikipedia. Look at, what's the, Antonio, what's the Rock Band game for free where you have Guitar Hero for free? Yes, Lovely Carrots. Thank you, Duchess. Anyway, the point is people do that work if there's a good reason to do it. They'll do it for free.
Oh, yeah, all of these, the people who've mapped, and there's loads of them that have mapped all these songs onto this, on the mod. There's loads of them, so people spend ages doing it.
Yeah,
and
just link it to Spotify.
Exactly. Well, I agree, but that's my biggest issue. I think because there's not a ton. I think there's about 12 songs that come with it. So that's what you get. They're all done by, and as you can see, this guy's playing Gangnam Style, by the way, which I've played, which looks like Gangnam Style.
No, I don't want Chinny to have to get an email.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You were desperate to play it then. But yeah, it's really well done.
Sexy lady. I'll just sing it.
Yeah,
and you can see him doing it. You can see it makes you do it.
Yes, that's how these games work. They make you.
They are, but obviously this has been created by just a random person who's modded the song. But he's obviously given some thought to how you would have to move to make it look like you were doing it. And it's very clever mapping. Some of them were better than others. Some obviously people had taken time and thought about how it would look when you were dancing around. And I'll tell you what, boy oh boy, you burned some calories playing this game.
Well, yeah, that's the best thing about it. I remember burning calories playing Rock Band, as strange as that might seem. Especially
Yeah.
drumming. I used to get into it with the drumming.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of similar. And it's very accurate. It knows exactly where you're swiping. It scores you for getting in the middle of the cube, so it's really that precise.
And is the
And-
experience that different when it's VR compared to like playing Rock Band back in the day?
Oh
you
yeah, big time.
Lightsabers.
Because you've got lightsabers obviously when you look down in your hands, and obviously it's all in three. It's like you're in the environment hitting.
tell you
stuff.
what,
I mean,
Something
I
I've
mean, I
learned.
can see it being fun, novel for a little bit, but then I would imagine like, okay.
I'll tell you something I've learned about Stu. He loves a gimmick, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I do love a gimmick.
He
That's the
loves
thing.
a
I think
gimmick.
it'd be a gimmick for a little bit, but it would wear off very quickly for me.
Oh, he
I don't
loves
think
a
it
gimmick.
does. I think the fact that I think it would on the Sony just because of the lack of songs. So I think you'd soon get bored of just playing the same songs over and over again. And yeah, you get better, and you obviously play on different difficulty levels and all that kind of stuff. And it does go a bit crazy. But I think obviously with the HTC and the fact that they had, I mean, there was so many licensed songs, like loads of them. So you'd always have something new to try, or a different song to play, or your favorite song, or whatever. And I think, like I say, I think it works really, really well. The accuracy was great, and it was just a lot of fun to play.
I've typed in the hardest song on Beat Saber. I don't know what song it is, but
Oh, but honestly, obviously Stevie, who's got the HTC, he's been playing this quite a lot, and he can play quite a few songs on hard. And I've got to say, reaction time has got to be quick. And what it kind of does as well, it switches stuff over, so you've got to cross your arms over and all this kind of stuff, and it just goes totally crazy.
yeah.
I mean, and sometimes the notes come towards you and then switch the direction as they're sort of spawning on the screen just to throw you even more.
yeah. I would like to try it.
It's good. Yeah,
but,
really, really good.
You know, it's a gimmick.
It
It is.
It is a gimmick.
Don't be
It
silly.
is, I guess.
I mean, that's fine. Like, if that's what works for you, go for it.
Rock
But,
Band
The
was a gimmick.
gameplay's really solid. You say it's a gimmick, but the gameplay's solid.
So
It's a gameplay with a solid gimmick.
Yeah. I don't know why,
Rock
why
Band's
you-
a gimmick. I'm not saying it's bad. I just
Yeah, but there's no peripherals. The good thing about it, apart from sticking the
yes, there
headset
is.
on,
There's a
Well,
headset.
except the $700 peripheral you need to buy.
Of course
Yeah,
it's a
but that works
peripheral.
with
Yeah, that's
everything.
not really a peripheral.
Of
Yeah,
course
it's
it
not
is.
like it's not. Yes, but it's not just specifically for this game.
No.
Rock Band, it's just for Rock Band or
That's
Guitar Hero or whatever.
Yeah.
This is for every game you play. There's no additional equipment required. apart from having
It's
VR.
very that we argue about this point. Here, wait, I got the sound clip for it and everything.
You are technically correct. The best.
correct.
That's correct.
I am correct because that's a stupid comment because it's not because of VR. It's just a game for VR.
The best thing to do when you are correct is to keep making the point over and over.
Exactly. I just want to make sure it
Moving
knows.
on to something else.
Yeah. So anyway, it's good. So totally, if you've got an HTC Vive, I'm assuming it's out for Oculus as well. Sony, I don't know, get it for it, I guess, but it's not.
Give
you're
it a
not gonna
try
get the
maybe
same
before you buy.
Yeah, you're not going to get the same experience, and that's the biggest. It's a good game though, and as long as it's accurate on the PlayStation VR, I guess it'll be all right.
Hey, we have a listener who's crazy into VR, right? Write in and tell us about it. Do you agree with Stu?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a
I want
solid
somebody to
game.
just email in and go, yes.
Yes. Dear veteran
I
gamers,
agree.
yes.
So yeah, Beat Saber. You've got one, buy it. It's definitely worth it.
Do you have to make the same point 3 times before you move on, Stu?
Yeah, we do. Move on, right? Chitty. Oh no, you've not played anything else. So back to you, then, Duke.
Back to Duke. Oh, yeah.
Duke.
And finish up with all the other ones I have to talk about. So first there's Skyrim, and I've been doing a playthrough for a while. I actually stuck with this one for a while. Usually there's something that comes along and I'm like, I want to start a new playthrough. But then I realized that every time you start a new playthrough, you have to go through that stuff with the dragon, the graybeards, and it just takes forever. And now I'm like, I don't want to ever do that again. So I'm just going to stick with this character forever.
I'm sure there's a mod for that.
Yeah, there probably is, but whatever. Anyway, the point is that I got a new mod. Speaking of mods, someone mentioned
Of course
this
you did.
morning. They were like, I started a new playthrough. I can't stop laughing. And the reason is because they got this mod called Big Heads. And on the screen, I wish you could see it, audio listeners. Go find Big Heads Skyrim mod and have a look because it's very funny. It's exactly what it says on the
Oh
tin.
my god, does the dragon have a big head?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I need to skip ahead.
It's
That is
awesome.
ridiculous.
Every monster has a larger head. Now, here's the problem. This mod is for the original Skyrim, and they made a version for the Skyrim Special Edition, except it doesn't make the heads as big. So it's cute and it's fun, but it's not as cute. It's not as fun as the original. And apparently there's a way to adapt your mods from the old one to the new one. You can like basically import them, but it takes a lot of work. So I haven't really messed around with it. But it's really cute and it's really fun, and it makes them look like bobbleheads. You can see the dragon's got an enormous head. It doesn't look that big.
Even the decapitated head's enormous.
Yeah, exactly. So I added that to the game, and it's made it, just a little more interesting. The dog has a very big head, which is good.
I really think
the dragon doesn't have a big head.
I really think you're reaching there with Skyrim too.
No, it's just because the gameplay. It doesn't affect the gameplay in any way. It's still fun.
I know.
I know, but you're just putting big heads on everything.
I am. It's true. But it's fun.
And that's different enough for you to play it again.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm not starting a new playthrough. I'm just, continuing the one that I had. And, I did the Star of Azura, which I haven't done in a while. And I'm, going after Red Bane's legend. And, it's just, there's so much to do in Skyrim. I never get bored of it. It's such a
With
great.
or without a big head.
And I'll tell you this has been what has made the game more interesting lately. Is there is a mod that I've used called Ordinator, which changes the perk system completely. So, for instance, you don't just specialize in destruction magic, which is lightning, fire, ice, etc., but you have entire lines within destruction magic of how you can make your shock spells better and better and better. So I've been doing that. So now when I shock somebody, it lifts them in the air.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's things like that. And bows and arrows, if you strike an enemy with full health, it does more damage. If you strike somebody from a long distance, then you can shoot arrows more quickly. It really does, the speech patterns. There's something in the speech path where you take out a drum and you start playing a song and everybody starts dancing. And I mean, it's stupid, but it's a way of.
It sounds totally stupid.
Different. Well, you don't have to play it, but the point is that it gives you dumb options and it gives you cool options.
I guess. I just feel like, how much more Skyrim can you really play? And sort of.
Forever.
Just...
I totally. I mean, at least until the next Elder Scrolls comes along, or Fallout 76, which is what, 2 weeks away, 1 week away.
Hey, well, we had the teaser trailer for the new Elder Scrolls game, didn't we? A mountain.
Right.
Let's not forget it.
So anyway, that's Skyrim. Cool. It's awesome. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Big heads.
Big heads. Extra complicated skill trees.
Right. Complicated skill trees. Ordinator is a good mod. Here, wait. What's this thing? Right.
Let's play. Guess the game that Chinny's played and finished this week.
I don't remember my name. I finished that game I talked about last week.
Oh, all right, okay. Which was that game? I don't know. Gorogoa, the painting game.
Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, it's beautifully animated, very well done. I only had a half an hour left after I stopped off last time, so the thing I think the game makes a good choice in terms of not bothering with a story. A lot of games like this will have a story and it'll make you sit through a story for no real reason, Very rarely in these puzzle games does the story help the experience much. So I think they did a very good job in leaving the story to an absolute minimum. There's really no story to bother.
That really makes me want to play it now.
Yeah, and there's no writing that I can see.
Oh, thank God.
Well, right, there is no. It's an international game, which is good, and you don't need a story. That's the point. It gives you hints at people's lives. But you don't need a full story to flesh it out. It's enough to just get these hints. Less is more, as they say.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. Big thumbs up for Gorogoa. It's cheap. It's short, but it's like Limbo in that it's not about the time you spend on it. It's about the quality of that time.
I assume you're playing this on Steam, are you? Not on your phone or whatever.
Playing it on Steam.
Yeah.
On Steam. And when I got done playing it, they said, "Oh, the original 2012 demo is now available from the menu." and I was like, oh, that's curious. I want to see what it's basically the first part of the game with a couple of things that were different. And yeah, so whatever. I just thought that was kind of cool, see how it evolved from back then till now.
A little bit of extra there for you.
Extra behind that. I would love to have a developer's commentary on this game. That would be
yeah. I don't know.
It happens more often.
I don't think I've ever really listened to one, to be fair, for a game.
Listen to the Portal one or the Portal 2?
Nope.
I listened to Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Episode 2, Left 4 Dead, Portal 2, Tomb Raider Anniversary.
Yep.
I'm very interested in them.
I don't know. Maybe I should do that. I've never done.
They're very interesting.
Yeah, they can be. I mean, it depends on who's doing them, obviously.
I love director's commentary on like DVDs. That's the one thing I miss about all this streaming business.
Yeah, you don't get them anymore. Yeah, can I ask on the Half-Life 2? Is that Gabe? Then is he involved, or is it just the developers?
Yeah, Gabe's on a couple of them. Yeah.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
He puts his email on there as well. Says just send me an email.
Dude, Gabe is a man of the people.
And speaking of Portal, I don't remember why, but I recently decided I needed to do another run-through of Portal and Portal 2.
Oh, wow.
So, oh yeah, I know why. Because I was looking through, I don't remember how it came up. It might have been, I think it was Facebook saying, hey, you posted this 7 years ago or whatever. And it was that first thing I made in Minecraft, which was an homage to Portal 2, the enormous circular concrete door that lifts up and it's a tiny little door underneath, right? Okay. So I had made a version of that in Minecraft when I first started playing it for real. And yeah, so anyway, I saw that and I was like, oh, dude, it's time for another playthrough. And there, what can we say about Portal that hasn't been said already? Obviously, it's wonderful. But the writing in Portal 2 is so good. The performances are good, but this time around, I'm noticing the writing, and it's just like, it's so well done.
So when you say the writing, you're not just talking about Stephen Merchant's character.
Stephen Merchant, the woman who plays GLaDOS, like it's constructed very, in terms of like, okay, when she talks about, oh, I need to clean out the tubes that the companion crates move through. There's going to be some garbage filling up these crates or filling up the tubes. And then she comes back later and she's like, you know what I was saying about garbage sitting around being useless? I was talking about you. I had to make sure the metaphor was clear, which is why I had to call you garbage again just now.
Yeah.
You understand. So it just, that sort of snarkiness, like writing that in dialogue can be really tough. And they did a very good job of it. So. Thumbs up.
I mean, Portal 2, as we all know, and we've said this many, many times, is one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
Go on, Duke, sorry.
It surprised me how much of Wheatley's dialogue I continue to laugh at even now. This is like my 5th playthrough. But like when he's talking about, I was in charge of the humans. They're so smelly. Oh, I mean, humans. Oh yeah, they're wonderful. Great humans.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing is it just makes me lol every time.
I think it's easy to forget how good a game is sometimes. I remember when I played Portal 2, after finishing it, I did something that I don't do very often. Is I play it immediately again. So I did 2 run-throughs of the game in like a week. And then I think I played it a 3rd time, probably about 6 months later. And you just kind of forget how good of a game is. And, that's why, I mean, it's a bit close for me to play Red Dead 1 now, but like I do sort of want to go back to it. But it's just, I was gushing at this game, Duke, when it came out. I was absolutely loving it.
I remember buying the copy for my Xbox 360 during my planning period one day, and then in the hall all day long, I was showing students like, look what I got, look what I got. It's like the pettiest thing I've ever done as a teacher.
It's a great game.
Yeah, I can imagine you doing that.
Yep. Well, I did it. Imagine that.
You're so petty.
So that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, I started the co-op bit with Millie. I started playing the co-op campaign on it.
I tried to get the Duchess to do that one time. She wasn't having it. 3 dimensions. She just doesn't do 3 dimensions.
We got through quite a lot, but it got to a point where I was I just ended up telling Millie what to do, but she couldn't understand why we were doing it. And I think it gets a bit tricky at that point, doesn't it?
Jenny, how much you want to bet it was like 3 seconds before he started?
No, no.
Click on that. Move over to that thing.
No, it wasn't. We were quite a few chapters in, because it's set up in different levels, isn't it? Areas that have so many puzzles in each area.
Chapters.
Yeah, is it chapters? I don't know whether it's chapters in the co-op though, is it? I guess it's chapters.
It says chapter. Remember, because she goes, "Uh-oh, this is the part where he kills us," and then it says chapter 7, the part where he kills you.
No, but is that in the co-op missions?
Oh, not in the co-op. I guess there is no chapters in the co-op.
No, I'm talking co-op. There's levels, but then there's
wasn't
levels
listening to what
within
you
levels. Said. I know you don't.
Let's really break it down how the game divides itself.
I know, yeah. But anyway, yeah, it got to a point where she was finding it very difficult to understand what we were doing stuff for, and maybe her mind just doesn't work that way because she's not used to gaming.
Explain it very well. Did you say?
No, because we'd done a lot of puzzles coming up to that point when it started to go a bit, not haywire as such, but she just started to struggle to understand what like once I told her what to do, she just did it, but then even once we'd done it, couldn't understand what we'd just done. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I mean, look, but I mean, if you haven't played Portal 1 and you haven't played a lot of video games in your life, I can see it being weird because it's a thing that doesn't exist in real life. So I can understand having difficulty relating to this thing that's going on.
Yeah, maybe we need to give it another go because we got quite a far way in and then...
See if she has any luck with the first, like, maybe not the first game, but the single player. Let her try playing around with that a little bit because that might be an easier way to ease her into it.
Maybe.
I have a feeling co-op mode would be really confusing if you've never played any Portal before.
Yeah, she played a little bit of the single player campaign, so she had an idea of what were what, you know what I mean, and how things worked.
Was this right when the game came out?
No, this is a long time afterwards.
Okay, well, I don't know.
So this was probably only maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it may be worth giving it a shot again. I don't know.
Maybe we need to give it another shot and see if she, because she's probably more science orientated now, so maybe has a better idea.
I don't know if that makes a big difference, but physics, better understanding of just spatial relationships and hypothetical thinking. That's, I think, the key to that game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just shoot holes in walls.
Holes in walls. Yeah, I've been playing another game because are you done?
I'm done.
I'm
all done.
Done. Yeah, I'll get the little game out of the way first, and then I'll come on to. I've got a little game called Morphe.
Morphe.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I've finally come to the realization that sometimes weird and shit doesn't always mean good.
Oh, thank God.
You don't say.
I know.
Congratulations, everyone.
Finally, it took long enough.
We've done it. We can end the show. This whole show
was is still working, so that's good.
This whole show was just to make Stu realize that, and now we can.
We're done. Thanks for listening, everybody. This is the last Veteran Gamers. We've reached.
I know. I finally come to a realization.
Oh, he's on his way out. Oops, spoilers.
Yeah, so it wasn't very expensive, so that's a good thing about it.
Morph. How expensive was Morph?
It was about £2.50.
Okay.
So it wasn't a huge amount of cash.
So let me explain what's going on the screen. Nothing.
Yeah. So if
he's just
the best way
in
to
some kind of desert, maybe, and he's pressing
sometimes it's
shapes.
Snow
pressing shapes on a block.
Yeah, and each of these shapes creates a musical sound.
Great.
And then you can morph through the TV screen, which is, I guess, where the name comes from. And you end up in another bit of the level, and then you can press on something else. And every time you press on something, it kind of adds to the soundtrack.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's kind of ambient, housey kind of thing.
Okay.
It's very, very chill. Now, I mean, there's somebody here. I'm just looking on Steam now. Somebody here has played it for 14 hours.
Well, yeah.
I think
that's a possibility. Yeah, why not?
I mean, what's so remarkable about that?
I don't know, 14 hours.
Chinny?
I think what you're meant to do is, right, just...
12 plus 2. I don't know, what do you want to know?
12 plus 2. I think what you're meant to do is create, like, a soundtrack, like a noise and a sort of something going on, and then you just let it do its thing and just have it on in the background.
So it's a sequencer.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Yeah, if you were back in the very
These things
minimalistic
exist everywhere.
Brian Eno days,
Yeah.
you know, this is you doing Brian Eno and sort of just doing really minimalist soundscapes, but with a low polygon graphic background.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I didn't really play it for very long. Maybe I should play it a bit longer. Maybe
Just
I
say
liked
it's
it.
shit. Just say it.
Say shit.
I'm trying to convince myself it's not as bad as I remember now. I'm
Just say
thinking,
it's shit.
maybe it was all right.
my
It did sound nice. I mean, the stuff that you pressed on sounded nice, but I didn't feel like there was a lot of stuff to press on. I didn't feel like there was enough variation.
Well, that's just your first impressions, though.
Hmm.
You know, like some sort of beat. I don't even remember there being a beat, though there might have been a beat.
You have
if I
to
don't
make a
look out.
beat. Isn't that the point of a sequencer? In
I
some way?
guess. I don't know.
Melody is part of it, but also the beat.
Yeah, maybe I needed to explore more and find a beat
You do.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
Sort
Maybe
it
I
out.
do. I'm gonna have another go. I'll have another go for next week and see if it gets any better. It probably won't, though, to be fair. So that brings me on to.
Certainly slowed the old show up, didn't we?
I know, yeah, as well as slow as that
Maybe
game
I need to
was.
play this game some more, or maybe it's
I know.
just shit.
Maybe it's just shit. Maybe I need to play some more. I don't know. I don't know. It's either shit or I need to play it more. But yes, that brings me on to the game I've played the most this week, and I have played quite a lot of it now. I'm quite a good way in, which is Detroit Become Human.
Detroit
Yeah.
Become Human.
Detroit Become Human. And I'm
Hello,
playing this in a
I'm a
way I've
robot.
never. Yeah, I'm a robot. I've played this a way that I've never played a game before, which is making dumb decisions. Not necessarily dumb. I've adapted how I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I started off just making random dumb decisions, you know, just picking what's the most stupid decision I can make when it gives me
For
the
instance,
option.
running into a hostage negotiation saying, "Put the fucking kid down and kick your ass."
Yeah. By the way, I've worked out you can look at world stats, what everybody else did.
World stats.
And that particular thing where, you know, I let the kid die only happened to 5% of players in the
Because
world.
those people aren't stupid.
All
5%.
human
Yelling at a
beings.
hostage taker.
And I've had quite a few of those less than 10% things now as I've been playing the game. So I'm not getting much better, but I'm a bit more structured in my approach.
Hmm.
So you play there's 3 different characters that you play
You
as.
pussied out of it.
Not really, because some more bad shit's gone down since then. I've had bad shit going down all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so there's 3 characters, distinct characters that you play as. One's called Marcus. He's like the revolutionary person who's gonna lead the robots to freedom.
Yeah,
Okay.
powered
So-
people or robots. Robots are
So
people.
that's him. Then there's Kara, who's the looking after the little kiddie, needs to keep her safe and sort of, you know, get freedom and safety at the same time. So that's her gig. So then and then there's the copper. So you play as like an android police. I can't remember what his name is. How weird is that? John. We'll say John for sort of the show's sake, but his name's not John. I don't know. But you play as him, and he's probably the one I'm playing the worst. So, well, I'm Marcus, to be fair. What's weird with Kara, because she's got this little kid with her, and because I ended up letting one kid die, which I didn't think would happen, and then it did. So I was a bit like shocked at that because I was like, shit, no game's not going to let me kill this kid, but it did. So I have become more protective of the child character. And obviously a bit more fatherly or motherly in this case because it's a lady robot. And I'm playing that sort of straight. I feel like it's a stretch too far
Yes.
to let some bad shit happen to this little kid you're looking after.
But you're
So
okay
you
with
get
having a
Person
child.
or a dumb person, but you're not going to be horrible. You're not going to be pure evil.
Correct. Yeah.
Now,
No.
speaking of
I know what
Dungeons
you're
and
gonna-
Dragons, there's a morality chart. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but there's a way of thinking about good and evil in Dungeons and Dragons where you've got chaotic and orderly, and then you've got good and evil. So you could be chaotic good, which means you want to do the right thing, but you also like to see chaos in the world. And then you can be orderly evil, which is you're evil, but you like for there to be order in the world. Does that make sense? So it sounds
Yeah.
like you're going to be kind of orderly evil.
Well,
Get too.
I've been pretty evil.
Yeah.
Which just isn't me. I mean, I'm playing as, the Marcus character. I've done some really heinous shit.
Yeah. What have you done?
Into the
Well,
specifics. We don't believe you. Prove it.
I shot 2 unarmed people for no
Yes.
reason because one of them was trying to escape, and I thought, yeah, he might tell someone, so I shot him in the back.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt quite bad.
Shut up.
And then there was
Well, you
another
should.
dude.
An unethical decision in a video game is still an unethical decision.
Yeah, and then there was another.
Karma said you feel that pain when you do it.
There's
Nah.
another security guard sat behind the desk, and I shot him as well because he was going for his handset. So I was like, I don't want to get rumbled, so I shot him in the face.
Make
So,
sure you kill the hamster.
Yeah, and then I'm meant to be getting
Black
humans,
Mirror, anyone?
yeah, humans to accept us, but I did all this more terrorist radical stuff.
Gee, you mean they're not going to accept you if you're a
No,
terrorist?
they all hate us. They all hate us because I've been like, I didn't know propaganda, and I've got a fist raised as our symbol, and I just terrorize people everywhere I go.
Well, there is a case to be made for raising the stakes of oppression, but there's also a case to be made that the more horrible things you do as a movement, and the less influence you'll have over other people.
Seems to be the case in the game. I think
Yeah.
David Cage has got that right because fucking people hate us. What's
But
kind of
here's
interesting?
here's the thing about that sort of thing. And it's not just about this game, it's about everything. In Skyrim, whether people like the Thieves Guild or not has to do with only what you do. Like it's all up to you in terms of whether the Thieves Guild is going to be revived or not. That's the part that's really kind of unrealistic, and I wish they could find a way to deal with it in games.
In what
but-
way do you mean?
Well, like you have the chance to revitalize the Thieves Guild and bring it back to its former glory. And if you don't, nobody else will, and there's nothing that anybody can do aside from you to make the Thieves Guild better again. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
not. Yeah, it's not. It is like that, but it kind of isn't because there are secondary characters around you that make their own decisions as well.
Yeah, well, that's
So-
good.
And they can obviously have an influence on what happens as well. So, like for instance, there was a part of the game where it just became a stretch too far for me,
Yeah.
because there was a part where there were 2 unarmed cops on the knees, sort of, nothing, and I was given the choice of either shooting them or leaving it up to the mob to decide.
Yeah.
So I left it up to the mob, and they shot him anyway. So hey ho.
That's what you get for getting in the way of the mob.
I know. What's
Pitchforks,
also
torches, get out of the way.
I know you've got a lot of hate for David Cage.
I sure do.
David Cage and these games, but to date, I think he does get marginally better each time he makes a game.
Well, that may be.
His writing's improved, the direction of the game, how it feels when you play, it's definitely improved. It does, although they are connected, and now things. What's interesting is the making everybody hate robots is now having repercussions on other characters in other parts of the game.
That's cool.
So there's a knock-on effect. With me doing what I've done has now had a knock-on effect with Kara's plight. Had I been nicer, her plight
Sure.
would have probably been a lot easier.
Well, it sounds like he's trying to make real the lived experience of karma. Like good action brings good consequences. That's the nature of the beast.
Oh yeah.
And it's hard to see that in our everyday
There's
lives.
something- And then playing as the copper android, I'm with a guy called Hank,
Yeah.
who's like a disgruntled cop.
Right.
And I've literally been doing everything I can to piss him off.
Pissing me off.
So whenever there's an option that just says cold or indifferent, that's the one I pick, because I just want him to get hostile and pissed. And he's literally, and it does a little bit of the telltale, like how people are feeling towards you all the time.
So remember that.
Yeah, well, he does that, but it's a little bit more direct. So it sort of says hostile, neutral, trusted, all that kind of stuff. The whole time I've played the game, he is constantly hostile towards me. He's never been anything other than hostile. And And I must admit, there is a lot. As you can see, I don't know whether you've noticed this as it's been shown in this gameplay. When you finish a chapter, it gives you all the other potential branching paths, but it doesn't tell you what they are because they're locked.
Right.
But there's so many. David Cage, love him or hate him, the amount of production that went into this game.
Yeah, sure. My brother and I tried to write a Choose Your Own Adventure book when we were kids. It took forever. We got like a third of the way through.
Yeah. And that's basically what this is.
Of course. That's what all video games are. That's why Tom Bissell said writing the Gears of War game was completely complicated in a way that no writing project he'd ever done was.
Yeah. But you see, but then it adds a whole other layer on when you're doing this sort of game where everything has to link together, even regardless of, not only the protagonist you're playing at the time, but other protagonists in the game are affected by what you're doing in a completely separate storyline.
Well, yeah.
So even thinking about all that other stuff as well and how that affects what's going on.
Yeah.
And references to it.
Yeah.
What the only thing I would have liked, and obviously, the first negotiation went totally balls up, and the kid died. I would have liked to have seen.
Listen to the passive voice, by the way. The negotiation went balls up. I fucked up the negotiation is another way to say that.
Yeah, it was me because obviously I was playing as a character, whatever. Yeah. But I would have liked to have seen more repercussions in the game. There has been references to it. Right. There was a bit of a heart-to-heart I had with Hank talking to him, and I told him what I'd done, and that because he asked me what my first assignment was or something like that, and I said that I'd screwed it up.
Yeah.
So obviously there is reference to it. He does remember it, but Hank, he's pretty well voice acted, and he's quite an interesting character, quite complex, Yeah. And some shit's obviously gone down with an android, but you don't really understand what that is at the moment. I know obviously something bad happened, and obviously he hates androids with a passion. So me being indifferent and cold towards him constantly all the time, or pushing his buttons, or looking for a sort of something that's going to piss him off all the time.
Pissing him off.
Yeah. It eventually works, is all I'm going to say. So, yeah. Yeah, it didn't end well with old Hanky boy.
Oh dear.
I know. Yeah, maybe should have thought differently when I was playing the game. But yeah.
Do you regret playing it the way you are?
Kind of, because what happened, I didn't. It was like the kid dying. I didn't kind of expect to happen what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it happened, and I was like, wow, that was a bit sudden and shocking. I've got to say, it's pretty good. I'm kind of enjoying it. I don't know whether I'm enjoying the way I'm playing it. And obviously, if I was doing it as I would normally play the game, I would never, ever play it like I'm playing it.
Would you play it again?
Well, yes, but what's kind of interesting is you can go to any of the branching story paths, for each chapter of the game that you played, and you can restart. Yeah. You can restart them. No, well, not only replay the whole chat, but you can restart them like halfway through where you came to a major decision point.
So would you rather do that, or would you just start again?
I don't know whether I'd just play the whole game again and just do it how I would actually normally play and just see how different the outcome would be.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I will say is, obviously, because I'm not used to play. I mean, I know you, Chinny, you're a fucking sadist when you play games and stuff, and you're not bothered.
Nope.
You'll kill every person you can kill in it. You would never care, would you?
No.
And you wouldn't feel any sort of personal feelings towards it one way or the other. You'd just do it because you're a sociopath.
Correct.
But for me, I'm kind of finding it difficult, but also interesting at the same time. Because
good is dumb.
good is dumb. I don't know whether good is dumb, but I just feel like...
Our comment said so. What do you mean you don't know if good is dumb? Of course it is.
Who said?
Now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb. Spaceballs.
Oh, it's a long time since I've seen that film.
Time to watch it again.
Maybe it is. But yeah, it does feel a lot different for me. And I don't know, like I say, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is interesting. You know, and I like when I interrogated a suspect this morning, and tortured him. You know, it gives you the option to torture him.
Oh, nice.
Torturing a robot, I like pulled his heart valve. It said, you know, it keeps your heart pumping. I'm thinking, I don't think robots have hearts, but whatever.
Take that
and
valve.
He only had like a minute to live.
Do they feel pain though?
Not pain.
I programmed to feel pain. Simpsons.
But the deviants, which are the rogue robots, you know, the ones that got rogue, they get a simulation of emotions. So obviously, if you get the deviant, he's obviously going to want to be, you know, self-preservation and not get killed or deactivated and all that kind of stuff. So obviously, it was kind of cool how the tells, because you had 3 identical looking robots, because obviously they just brought off an assembly line, so they all look the same. But one was a deviant. You had to question them to figure out who the deviant was.
I see.
And the way I worked out the deviant is because every now and again when I was talking to the others, he'd just very sort of slightly look sideways, and I could, you know, just out of the corner of your eye, just catch him looking.
So it's LA Noire now.
It's LA Noire, but
Don't you fucking lie to me!
Done better than LA Noire though, because it was more subtle.
So where were you last night?
I was at the
You was
club.
out, wasn't you? You stupid motherfucker! I fucking hate you. You fucking fuck.
Yeah.
No, I had a witness. Oh, well, that's okay then.
Wait,
There is a little bit of that, because he is a bit unpredictable. You know, he'll pick what he thinks a safe option, and then he'll do something completely AWOL. You know, so that does happen in this game. But overall, you know what? I think it's pretty good.
You like it, don't you, Stuart?
I do. I hate to say it.
You
because
think
I
it's the
like-
best game.
Yeah, but I like Heavy Rain, really. You know, I could see its faults, but I kind of liked the premise. And I think this does... You know, there was, you know, the bit in Heavy Rain where you're driving the wrong way down the freeway, and it's quite heart-pumping. You know, it does a good job of sort of making you go, oh, my God. There was...
I've ever said, oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
There was a very similar moment in this game, which was pretty hairy, and I thought was done in a really well, but very, very similar. So you can see he's sort of gone, oh yeah, that worked really well in Heavy Rain. I'm going to do another version of that, you know, and see how that goes. But it was very well done.
It's
very
fun when
well
you
done.
drive fast the wrong way down a traffic.
Yeah, well, this
traffic
wasn't
street, not like those other kinds of streets.
this wasn't driving. This was just something else. So
I
this
know,
was something-
but
Running, flying.
something
skipping.
like that.
It's a high
Skipping-
intensity skipping.
down the road. But yeah, there are some faults with the game. There are some faults with the game, because sometimes, like,
It exists isn't fair enough.
Zing.
yeah, exactly. Because these robots are meant to be getting your sympathy, right? Like, for instance, you can see in this one, the robot stabbed him 28 times.
Damn, that's a lot of times.
There's a lot of times. And when you finally catch the robot, he was like, oh, but he was attacking me with a baseball bat, right? Well, she's fine.
If you
right?
stab twice, but if you stab
Exactly. Or just stab once, even, just in self-defense. But, you know, this robot went a bit OT, and you're meant to feel some sort of sympathy for the robot that stabbed the dude 28 times.
Did they even talk about the 3 laws of robotics?
No, I don't think any of these robots
Should, man.
apply.
What is wrong with people? Isaac Asimov gave us a beautiful, functional setup for how to deal with human-robot interactions, and nobody uses it.
That's right. The other,
Pretend like
the other,
never wrote a word.
the other thing that makes no sense whatsoever
Oh.
is that these robots have this like thing on the side of their head that shows them to be a robot, and it's like some sort of coloured light, and it changes colours depending on what's
LED
happening.
light.
Yeah, like an LED light. Now, you'd think that were pretty much, you know, hardwired to the side of the face, so it couldn't be removed or anything like
Isn't
that.
it a sticker?
It just comes off. These
Yeah.
robots pull them off.
I heard
That's
that.
ridiculous.
And like they just pull them off just to be like, okay, we can blend in.
And now I look like a human. No one will ever be able to tell.
Dumb.
It
See,
is dumb.
These stories always fall apart. I haven't seen Westworld. I haven't seen Humans. I want to, but like
Humans is not
they're-
too bad.
there's so many ways in which these stories start with these dumb loopholes, and then it ruins the whole thing.
Like there's a bit right
Even
where
Fallout or Nick Valentine is a really interesting robot character.
yeah,
I
but
did a good job with Nick.
Yeah, but you can tell he's a robot.
Yeah, but so what?
How?
Because he looks like one.
That's a joke.
He's got the wires coming out of his neck.
Yeah, exactly.
I never
But
noticed.
You've never noticed. But in this, the robots look like humans, but there's just so many stupid fundamental errors. Like we broke into this.
But
Like
you like this game.
I kind of like it, but there are
That
fundamental
was
things
the
that
fun.
just make no sense.
Such
Like
as going to a warehouse.
we broke into this, this high security office building thing, and there's no detectors that detect you're a robot. You know what I mean? This dude.
Wait. They have
walks in.
detectors that can tell if you're a robot?
Well, you'd think they would, wouldn't you?
Well, Voight Kampf, man. You ever see Blade Runner?
I guess. But
The whole concept behind Blade Runner is there's a test, but it's really hard to tell with some of the robots.
I guess there is a bit of that, I suppose.
They could, again, they could use that, but no, we want to make our own world.
What about like a person that just walks like a fucking idiot round a room?
And what I always get,
Wait, are you a robot? No, I am not. Okay, carry on.
I guess this applies to. I suppose they do it because they want them to seem like humans, I suppose. But it's like in humans, they still sound a little bit like a robot, when they talk and stuff.
Yeah.
So even if you didn't know, you could probably tell. You know what I mean? You're probably like, yeah, it's a robot. In this, they're just like humans. There's no distinction really voice-wise or inflection or the way they talk. Like I say, they can just pull that sticker thing off the side of their head. Sorted. I'm a human now. No one will know.
Lol.
Yeah. But other than that, it's pretty good. It is good. I like it. I do think it's got its merits for sure. And I can see there's a lot of replayability because, like I've said, I might go next time and play it as the. As I would have played it and just see how much different it really is.
Right.
Because at the moment it's not good. Things aren't good. Things are going AWOL big time. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I can't see a good ending at the moment.
No.
I feel like it's really gonna go badly for everybody
What's
involved.
better, this or Until Dawn?
I'd probably say this at the moment. Although I really like Until Dawn, but I feel like this is more realistic in a way. What's kind of cool as well. It's set in 2038, but it's not that advanced, if you will.
No, they just have walking human robots.
Yeah, they just have walking human robots. But other than that, it's kind of.
Other than that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There is some sort of futuristic stuff in it, but it's not crazy futuristic.
No.
So I kind of like that about
robots that look like humans that walk around like
just
humans.
Robots that
just
look
that.
like humans and talk all
cool.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got massive problems with like films that predict the future and stuff, and
because they're always wrong.
Well, like there's some things that are just stupid. Like I saw one in this gameplay. When there's a crime scene, there's like little evidence cards of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? On this, the evidence cards was like a display. It was like a digital display. I was like, that's dumb. Yeah. Like they would never do that. That's dumb.
Why not?
Because then you'd have to charge it, and then like okay, what number's this one? Number 2. No, all right. Why don't we just get the?
That's
normal...
not what it says on my display. My display's messing up.
Oh no, we've run out of battery. What display was this? Was this 2 or 3? Gary, was this 2 or 3? Fuck you. All right, fuck you too, Gary.
That doesn't sound like a technology problem. That sounds like a Gary problem.
Gary's an idiot.
Yeah, fucking Gary.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Back to the Future 2 got it mostly wrong.
No, it's pretty bang on, to be honest.
Terrible. He got nothing right, did he?
I'm sitting here with my transparent tie on.
Self-lacing shoes.
Watch me put my shoes on.
They actually did come out the self-lacing.
Yeah, they did make some of those, didn't they?
Yeah.
And hoverboards, those
Hoverboards. Okay, they don't float from the thing. And but you can't go over water with them.
That's true.
So who's laughing now?
Sense correct.
So yeah. I don't know. Video games are dumb.
Video games are dumb.
They are.
So,
His
yeah.
goat's got an enormous head.
Right. Anyway, that's kind of it for me. I'm going to continue to play in the way I'm playing. See what happens.
News is stupid. Who cares about the news?
Yeah, news is stupid. What's
The
in
new
the
Black
news?
Ops is out. It's got stuff in it. It's got what you call it, battle royale mode.
Yeah, have you seen what people are doing already? People have already found an exploit, haven't they?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're doing like, like an emote or whatever they call it. Where they do a little
It's
dance.
only
or
available
whatever.
on Blizzard.net. Is that right?
I don't know.
It's not on Steam.
Oh no, it'll not be. It's EA. No, it's not EA. Activision.
Right. So,
So you're right. It'll be on that, whatever that is.
sorry. Go on, as you were saying.
But they're doing the little dances and stuff, and using it to look round corners.
Okay.
What
To
game are
see
you
if
talking
other
about?
players. So Black Ops.
Black
4.
Ops 7. They got a new battle royale.
So people are using the sort of doing a little dance or whatever. What's it called? Is it an emote or whatever it is? I don't know.
It's an emote.
Yeah.
Yes, Grandad.
Yeah, emote. So they're doing that, and then you can look round corners to see if anybody's coming and cheating using it.
Well, there you go.
Because it goes into third-person view when they do it, you see, so they get a bigger view of where
I don't
around
think that's
themselves.
cheating. I think that it's available to everybody. So what?
So, but they're already
Not
patching it to
cheating,
stop
it's
that
just
happening.
stupid. It's like camping.
Yeah.
It's a dumb way to play.
It's a stupid way to play, but it's got good reviews though. No first Call of Duty game with no single player campaign, and people are liking it. So it's
Guess what?
doing all right.
How much is it?
How much is it? It's probably
Well, it's still the same price. What are you
Yeah.
expecting?
Same price, isn't it? No one gives
Oh,
a
yeah.
shit. Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. It is £48. Yeah,
Yeah.
about the same price.
Well, it's normal price, isn't it, for a game these days?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got 87 though on Metacritic, so it's doing all right, I guess.
Bastards.
Bastards, fucking hate that game. What's interesting though, as is always the case on Metacritic, critics giving it 87, users 5.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
because they're cranky pants.
Cranky pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could be better. Could be better, but obviously, people hate on Call of Duty, whatever happens.
Is there any
so-
news? Or
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry,
Sometimes
news,
I
go, news, go.
I like Stu just kind of dying on his arse.
Yeah, shut up, news.
Forever.
Give us some news.
PS4 users are claiming that malicious messages are breaking their consoles. Dun dun
What?
da la 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 la. PlayStation 4 users. That's exactly what I just. Why did you repeat it? Okay. In several threads on the Reddit PS4 Reddit board Reddit. Users are reporting that they are receiving messages through the console's messaging application that are hard locking their consoles. The story all follow a similar pattern. User, fuck you, I don't want to subscribe to your newsletter, Kotaku. User receives a message. Their controllers and sound outputs fail, and resetting the console results in a continual error loop. While the exact cause is unclear, many users in the Reddit thread have likened the exploit to previous messaging exploits, such as another one from 2015. In a unique string of characters could crash an iPhone. In describing the PS4 message, one player wrote, "It was just merely a question mark in a box," suggesting that the malicious message cannot even be displayed in the PS4. So if you get a dodgy message on your PS4, don't open it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Apparently, some of the users were saying that even if they didn't open it, it still did the crash thing.
Okay.
So even if you just receive the message, is enough to fuck your console up, pretty much.
It does seem that the exploit is purely text-based, so changing your PlayStation, your Messenger private settings should prevent it from happening. You can do that by going to your account management in your settings, heading to the privacy setting submenu and changing messaging settings to friends only or no one, meaning that only your pre-selected friends or no one can message you.
Yeah, I've just done friends only on mine for the time being until they
what?
Send random messages to people only.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah. So
Hellblade.
protect yourself, people, because if you freaking factory reset, that's a pain in the arse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rubber Up. Hellblade. Senua's Sacrifice. Hold on, I've got autoplay going on here. Don't you fucking hate autoplay?
Yes.
Yes, I hate that thing.
Of Satan.
Okay.
Spawn of Satan.
Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Dev set up Senua's Scholarship Fund for Mental Health. Ninja Theory developer such as such titles as Hellblade and fucking DMC and all that shit. Has teamed up with Cambridgeshire, Peterborough NHS Foundation Trust and its charity head to toe to launch Senua's Scholarship to help students improve their mental health and lead successful lives. Ninja Theory, who was recently purchased by Microsoft, spent 3 years working with staff and students from CPFT's Recovery College East to gain an understanding of mental health, as the lead character Senua has experiences of psychosis.
Yeah, that's a cool thing to come out of a video game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very good.
I like that. I like that a lot. Giving back. Giving back.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic fan remake is shutting down after a cease and desist from Lucasfilms. Back in 2016, an ambitious group of fans began work on an Unreal Engine 4 reboot of the role-playing lightsabering classic Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic called Aprion. The project has made an impressive progress since then, but it emitted a tragic Wilhelm scream this week when Lucasfilm's lawyers zapped it out of existence. Yep, that's pretty much the gist of that story. Yeah.
But this is always going to happen, isn't it? People take a very popular franchise and then, make their own version of that game to...
Yeah, but they should let it alone. It's not going to lose any money. Who's buying KOTOR now?
They're not even gonna. Yeah, it's not like that they were gonna charge for it. I don't think, because a lot of these people don't, unless it's Valve. Valve are usually pretty good about stuff. They let them make that Half-Life remake, and in the Half-Life 2 engine, they made it all really cool looking, and gave them the blessing and said, "Yeah, get on with it. We don't care. We're not bothered."
They should. And this is the whole thing. Look, copyright law has changed over time. When the U.S. first started existing, U.S. copyright law lasted like 15 to 20 years. The idea was you make a thing, you profit from it for a little while, and then it becomes the property of all of us. That's the way that copyright law ought to work. Intellectual property law ought to work like that for everything. But these companies just keep renewing and renewing and renewing forever, and it makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't think, like you said, KOTOR, unless they're going to do their own remake of it.
Which they're not. That's why people wanted to make this one.
I think the problem with it is they're fucking with a big boy, which is Disney. And I think Lucasfilm.
But Disney is known for not playing around with their intellectual property. That's the problem.
So Lucasfilm's probably protecting themselves because they know that Disney's going to clamp down on them and go like, "What the fuck? Why didn't you sort this out?" So, it's people protecting themselves really. But people get jobs from those kind of mods, so I wouldn't be too disheartened. Anyway,
it's about the jobs. It's about the creative thing.
Yeah. Is it?
Game.
Is it though? Is it? Senran Kagura Burst renewals PlayStation 4. That's a game. PlayStation 4 release has been delayed after Sony told the publisher to remove its intimacy mode. Senran Kagura Burst is an anime-style video game about high school girl ninjas whose clothes get torn off. It carries a PEGI 16 rating in Europe for, quote, erotic activity and the use of sexual expletive. The intimacy mode in question lets players spray down and grope the girls. It is essentially a molesting underage girls mode. The announcement came from the Twitter account Xseed, the publisher of the game in the US. On these shores, Senran Kagura Burst Renewal is published by Marvelous Europe and distributed by P-Cube with a PS4 release date on the 16th of November 2018. According to Xseed, the planned Steam version will release with intimacy mode intact, and both versions will launch simultaneously.
See, this isn't about sex. This is about molesting women.
Yeah.
Intimacy mode is a horrible name. It's bullshit. I hate it.
Yeah, I've got to say, it probably is a bit of a stretch too far, really, isn't it?
But we can play it in the UK, so there you go.
Well, there you go. Don't play this game, Stu.
So stupid.
I won't be playing that. I won't be playing.
Do not
this
play
game.
the game, Stu. PUBG.
Well, I'll play the game, just not the intimacy mode.
Oh my god.
No, don't.
It's a joke.
If you're gonna make a game about molesting girls, then you should not give them money.
Can I just say, there is an interesting comment at the top of this page, you know, the first comment, and he says, look, I understand the grossness of the subject here, but it raises a more general question. Do we view the game characters as a representation of an actual human being, or are they just digital sprites or icons?
It's both and neither. There's a really important essay called A Rape in Cyberspace, and it's all about this situation that happened that the person felt horribly violated, but of course it was just words on a screen. When we play these games, we are neither just interacting with dust in the wind, nor actually doing the thing that we're talking about. This is why, for me, and it's a question of morality, there's no one right answer, but, you know, for me, when I do nasty, horrible things in a game, I feel bad. Because that's my conscience telling me I shouldn't do nasty, horrible things. Other people are willing to do them with abandon and, you know, whatever. It's your choice. But I think that when we train ourselves to think, well, this doesn't matter, then that's just dulling our natural empathy.
And I guess that's how I'm feeling at the moment, playing Detroit the way I'm playing it, because it does feel uncomfortable and a bit weird.
Yeah.
You know, not normal. And whereas Chini doesn't seem to be bothered.
It's not molesting little girls, though, is it?
No, it's not. But it's why do you want to virtually molest little girls?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just a bit weird, isn't it?
Because you probably wouldn't do that, would you, Chinny?
No.
Was good. I'm glad to hear it. So why is it worse? But hang on a second, though. This is the question, though, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, Chinny. You happen to
put me on the spot. I am best when I'm on the spot.
Okay, why is it okay to virtually enslave people in Fallout 3 with those collars, but it's not okay to virtually molest a little girl?
Because it's funny.
Why is it okay to set off a nuclear warhead and decimate a whole town?
Because it's funny. I think
it's an interesting question, though.
It is an interesting question, but I'm on the spot and I'll answer it. I think there's got to be a line somewhere, and I think the notion of me just kind of comically blowing up a town just to see what happens, or enslaving children because I need money is kind of like an
But that in itself is not an argument, because there's many ways to make money in Fallout games other than enslaving.
No, I didn't really
children.
need the money, but it was funny. But like I suppose there's no sort of like I suppose it's the sex thing is the problem. There's no sexual arousement or anything. It's just interesting and funny. It's amusing to me to do it because I know it's not real, and I'm not disconnected from reality. That I'm not really like that, right? I understand that it's a bad thing to do, but I'm also aware that it's
and I
not
guess
real.
And people would say the same thing about the molestation game.
Yeah, I think any sex in video games is slightly odd, mainly because it's animated really badly most of the time.
So
right.
once we get really good animation, but
not that like I'm just saying like a normal adult to adult sex scene in a video game. I find
Again, I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's a difficult question, and look, I'm subject to the same thing, right? Why is it okay for me to
kill
play
people,
Grand Theft Auto in a way that kills people and does horrible things? Why can I do the Assassin's Guild quests in Skyrim, but I'm not willing to enslave people? Like, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah,
I just won't enslave people.
So,
I'm a liberator in these games. But
I think it's like I when I'm doing it, I'm sort of doing it in jest. I'm doing it with a sense of humor because I know it's not real. I think my line is I'd see even if the person, like the women, wasn't underage and they were like adult women, to like sort of like even if it was just like a little bit more innocent, and it was like I'm sure there was a game where there was like a mini game where you had to sort of stare at a woman's boobs on a different game and stuff like that.
Right.
It's all just creepy. You know what I mean? It's all just a bit weird.
Sure.
It's just like the I suppose the intention of it is there. The developers putting it there, whereas the point of Fallout and GTA and things like that, the intention isn't with the developer so much. It's kind of with the player, where the developers sort of purposely made you do that. Whereas in a Fallout game, yeah, you can do it, but if we didn't do it, then it wouldn't be fair because our game's about exploration.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. What do you have to do and what do you have as optional?
Yeah, so I feel like because the game, you know, I'm choosing a good game that I like now that like I feel a little bit weird about is kind of Mass Effect, right? Well, so Mass Effect is one of my favorite games, but there's certain things that it makes you do that I wouldn't do, right? So therefore the game feels a bit flawed. I mean, it's one of my favorite games of all time, but like it's over X or Y, and I'm like, well, where's Z, right? I want to do Z.
Sure.
So, and I think that was your problem with, I think it was your problem with, I think it was LA Noire back in the day. It could have been LA Noire, it could have been something else, but basically, like, if I can pick some things up, I should be able to pick everything up. So it's either one thing or nothing. So it's like, you either let me pick up the things in the room that matter, or you let me pick up everything. But in LA Noire, you could pick up the things that matter, but then the odd bottle. But you couldn't pick up this mug. You're right. So it's this weird sort of false options thing. So Fallout and GTA, I feel like they get away with it because it's your choice. It's you're role playing a character, and it just so happens that my character is.
And I mean, GTA 5 made you torture that guy. That was a thing I did not like in GTA.
No,
5.
So, and that rubbed you up the wrong way.
Like,
and I suppose like killing but everybody kills people in video games, right? And I think we look past the question of why, and I think it's because it's and it's sort of weird and as sadistic as it sounds, because it's fun, like to shoot guns and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's fun to
Which
do
is
it.
why Vanquish is so much fun, because you're not killing. I mean, it's weird for me to even say it, right? Vanquish, you're killing virtual robots, instead of virtual people, and why does that matter? I think for me. Again, it has to do with empathy. It has to do with repetition. The more you see a thing happen, and the more you are engaging in that virtual process, a little tiny itty bitty bit of empathy, I think, is drained away.
I played Call of Duty World at War directly after watching Save It Private Ryan, right? And that changed the way I felt about what I was doing. And I did that. I did that on purpose. I went out and did it. Because Saving Private Ryan is one of the most hardest films for me to watch. I find it very difficult for me to watch. I get very upset when he cries out for his mom, and it really shakes me up, that film. So when I played Call of Duty World at War straight after it, it really made me feel like, not only I didn't really feel much for the character that I was playing, but the people that I was shooting, right? Because they're just people, right? Like some of the scenes in Saving Private Ryan, you get to see that. Like some of the kids that were fighting for the Germans, they're just kids as well. So like, that affected me. So I suppose you're right. The repetition of it when a parent walks in and sees their child killing people on a video game, the kid's already past that. He's way past that. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I don't know. I've got to shoot these things and get points, and that's the game.
And again, I think that's a really good opportunity, though, for parents to talk to young people about, like, well, who's the good guys? Who's the bad guys? Like, why are you doing this mission? And that's why story can really matter in games, is because if there's a good, Saving Private Ryan is a painful film to watch, but we know it was all about trying to stop the spread of Nazism, which was a greater evil, perhaps. Jimmy Carter said, war may be a necessary evil, but it's always an evil, and we have to find other ways to deal with it.
I think what's interesting for me, obviously, going back to Detroit, the way I'm playing it is they're also doing a lot of parallels to racism in the game, and obviously early things in America's time when they were trying to get the independence and rights and all that kind of stuff, and they're doing a lot of that kind of thing as well, trying to make out you know, the robots have a parallel to what happened to black
Yeah,
people
but it's
in
so
America.
it's so ham-fisted though in Detroit. It's so like this is about racism, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just so it's no subtlety.
Well, it's
there's
hard
no,
to do. That's an aesthetics question, and it's hard to do that well, I think.
Yeah,
It's
and I
just-
don't think they're doing a
ugh.
terrible job of it. And I do feel emotionally connected to the characters, and that's why I think it's making it so difficult to play it in the way
But
I'm
it doesn't
playing
make
it, you know.
It doesn't make it very powerful. Like one of the most powerful moments in Mass Effect 2 or 3, can't remember what it was now, was with a robot, right? And it was with, is it Legion? Is that the name of the robot? Remember this?
Yeah.
And when
Yeah, they're all one thing.
and throughout the most of the game, he's pretty straight. He's pretty much a robot, right? And there's one little bit where he wobbles, right? And it's brilliant. It's probably one of the most memorable moments that I have of the game, and it's just a couple of lines, and it's because it's not ham-fisted. It's so subtle, right? And it just makes much more of an impact. Whereas Detroit is like, hey, remember that whole thing about black people? Well, now it's robots, and and we've seen it time and time again. If
You
it
know,
was
and they
10
even
years
have
ago,
all,
maybe.
you know, the robots are segregated. They have a different bit of the bus.
It's
You know,
ridiculous.
they really have gone all out.
It's
Wait,
just
there's still buses? That doesn't even make sense.
we still have
Yeah,
buses.
still public transport.
Well, yeah, but it's in the future. There shouldn't. I mean, maybe
Self-driving
look,
buses.
How else are you going to get around in the future? What
Well,
do you
no,
think is
that's
gonna happen?
fine. It's not about the fact that there's public transportation. It's why aren't they hover buses?
There should
Or
be
why aren't they-
self-driving.
They're fancy looking. They're self-driving, fancy-looking
Oh.
buses. You know, they don't have
Are
drivers.
they driven
on
by
them.
robots?
No, it's just driven by an AI thing. I guess it's a kind of robot, I suppose.
It would make more sense if they made those robot people. It would make sense to just put a robot in it.
But you know, they've got their own robot section. You know, shopping centres have robot-only escalators or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they've gone all out for those parallels.
Yeah,
but
it's not
like
that,
you
it's
said,
not that exciting though, is it? It's just like
no.
it's a little bit dumb, I think. Anyway, more news. PUBG
Yep.
apologises for broken automatic server allocation.
Have you had any experience of this, Ginny? I guess you've not played it for a while.
I haven't played it for a while on the PC. But yeah, PC update came out early October, made it so your server or region was decided automatically depending on the player's local region. But it didn't work properly with players reporting that they had been shunted into regions not their own and suffered a poor online experience as a result. Now, in a post on its website, PUBG Corp apologises for the issue and released an initial fix to try and combat the problem. There was an error the ping calculation or something, but now it's sorted.
They've done fucked up, basically.
They're done goofed. It happens. PlayStation Network name change has been officially announced by Sony. Congratulations.
I mean, that's great, right? But at this point in time, most of the names people would want to change to have probably already been taken anyway, have they not?
Well, they need a
That's a good name.
they need a purge, don't they? They need to like, because the Xbox do this, you know. Any accounts that are dud and dead,
How do they
Yeah, they
determine
put back in.
activity.
The name
So
so it can be used again.
they know. Like for example, Chinny, the Xbox Live account Chinny, was taken, but
Yeah.
had no games, no achievements, never logged in. So someone obviously set it up years ago, or some dummy account or something somewhere, and never goes on it. So they can tell when you log in and all sorts of stuff. So I think they must have written a series of rules, and got rid of it. So. Yeah, it's so I think they need one of those. But Sony aren't very good with the software stuff, are they?
Well,
So-
they're only just letting you change your name, so as if they're going to do anything more extensive than that.
Well, I think they'd have to. I think they'd have to do something while they're in there. They might as well. But anyway, I don't really care. I don't even know what my name is on PlayStation. Can't remember.
Probably Ginny 1985, is it not?
Probably, yeah.
Well, you've got a PlayStation now. What are you talking about? So
Yeah,
what are you
but-
logged in on that as?
I don't know. I just log in. I don't look at it, do I?
Oh, okay. I have no clue what my gamer tag is on PlayStation.
I just look at it. I don't know. I can't read this one because I've got ad blocker on. So there you go. Microsoft announced Xbox game streaming service Project X Cloud. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god. I'm not turning off the ad blocker, you fucks. Microsoft are the latest to hop on the game streaming bandwagon, announcing Project xCloud today. A way to beam Xbox games direct to any device with a fast internet connection. While currently only in internal testing, Microsoft are rolling Xbox One hardware out to Azure data centers around the world. While Microsoft recommend an Xbox controller broadly supported via Bluetooth, they're working on alternative control setups for other devices, including touchscreens and less beefy PCs. So basically, you can strip it to your phone, connect the phone to the controller, and away you go.
Yeah, so will this be a sort of an add-on for your Xbox One or whatever the hell the new Xbox is, where you're in the middle of a game, you want to take it on the move, you just clip your phone into a controller and away you go.
Away you go. Yeah, I think it'll be within this generation. I think this will be going.
Yeah, so which is better than PlayStation now, which is a bit. It works. You can test it out again. By the way, Chinny, now if you want to, they've reset all the trials of it now, so you can do another 7-day free trial of it.
No,
just to see if it's something you like.
I won't be doing that.
It works pretty well, but you've got to pay for it, and it's expensive. It's not cheap enough.
Well, that ain't the problem. I think people would pay for it if it was if there isn't other services out there that match it or better. Or B, that it worked really, really well and it was worth the money. So, yeah, you got Game Pass, which is like £7 a month.
Yeah.
And it's a much more straightforward model. Obviously, Microsoft are not relying on Game Pass, which is good because they've got to kind of move with the times. I think this is kind of like the way it's all going anyway. But Game Pass is it seems like a nice little stopgap between.
Can you imagine if Sony went, we're going to introduce this service where you pay £7 a month? Oh, and you get every Sony exclusive game day one included.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Never happening.
Never happening. Never happening.
Never happening.
So I think the only if Sony were doing what Microsoft were doing, Microsoft would be in trouble, big time. But they won't, and they don't. So yeah, I think the Game Pass is a nice stopgap. It lets you download the games. You've got a service, and the xCloud is kind of the next level. And I think it will take some time, but it'll get there. It'll get there.
You mean Pete is playing Forza Horizon 4 on the back of Game Pass, isn't he now?
He loves Game Pass. I mean, my brother doesn't have a massive library of games. He kind of went out of video games for a while, came back into the Xbox One this year. Got the Game Pass pretty much straight away, and he's very, very happy. Like, he plays games that he wouldn't usually play. He just sort of lets the games come to him. I think that's the difference now. You know what I mean? Whereas before you go out and find them and pick them, but he's just like, well, whatever I download, whatever's coming out on the next month or whatever, that's what I'm playing. And it's in some ways I envy that because I'm sort of like a slag. I'll play everything, and then my backlog just goes crazy, and then I can't play anything. Whereas, he has this leisure of just, I'll just play whatever comes next. I might like it, I might not, and then move on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing, like you said, for more casual players or people who are just coming into Xbox or whatever. It's a nice low point of entry. You don't have to spend a lot of cash, and you get quite a lot of benefits from that £7 a month.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Right. We're done.
Is that it? We're done. Right, let's do some emails.
Okay, let's do some emails. Why not?
Whoa, that ruled. Okay, this is from Derek Sands.
Derek
Sands. He says, who knew? Veteran gamers.
Hi.
Hi, Derek Sands. Do you have an email?
You cut out a little
discerning podcast listeners everywhere. My apologies for wrongly saying James rather than John Belushi starred in Animal House when giving the answers to the movie quiz last week.
Not a big deal.
I will have... Yeah, it's not a big deal, but get it right next time. Get it right. I will have to up my game for the next quiz, which may be as early as next week.
Oh, yeah, please. We love your quizzes.
I do know who James and John Belushi are, but don't get me started on the Baldwin brothers. Yeah, I have no clue. There's that many of them. To show that I am 100% certain about the Belushis, I have attached their photos below for confirmation.
I don't think that's necessary. We trust you.
Yeah, except he hasn't put them on there at all.
Oh.
So there you go. Anyway, did you know that, as well as appearing in Animal House and the Blues Brothers, John Belushi once appeared in one of Steven Spielberg's biggest movie flops from 1979? But can you name it?
Is it 1941 or something?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
I think you're right.
Anyway, he hasn't given the answer, so it might be at the
I
bottom.
don't know, but like one of Steven Spielberg's biggest flops was 1941. I think it's 1941.
Yeah. By the way, the photos I should have mentioned the photos he put at the bottom are Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. So there you go. That's what for John and James Belushi. Anyway, after Chinny's verbal dismantling of TV survival legend Bear Grylls last week, I got to thinking about animal names for people.
Oh, yeah.
So, veteran gamers, if you had to change your first name to that of an animal, bird, or insect, what would you change it to? I would have to go for Tiger Sains.
Tiger Sains. That's a good question. What would I want to change my name to if it were an animal name? Because my favorite animal is the pika. It's this cute little tiny rodent that lives in the mountains. But I don't think Pika Piotrowski. I mean, that's not bad. It's
That's
just
not bad. It's not terrible.
Sound cool. Asp. That's a cool name. Asp.
It's very close to ass, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very close to ass.
Adder. Snakes are cool. Slytherin. I don't know.
Slytherin? That's off bloody Harry Potter. What are you talking
I know,
about?
but I'm thinking of snake names. That's
not an animal, though, is it? That's not a type of
it
animal.
sounds like a snake. God damn it.
It does, but it's not an animal.
You're right.
That's an animal-sounding name.
That's just what like a snake does.
You are technically correct. The best
You know,
kind of correct.
Which bit of, if you had to change your first name
Oh,
to
for
that
God's
of an
sake, why
animal,
don't you
bird,
just
or
say what
insect?
animal you want to choose instead of nitpicking all the time?
God. Ginny, what would you go to? What would you go with?
I don't know, because my last name's Chin, so it's always going to be shit.
Ooh, Gecko. Call me Gecko. Gecko's a cool word.
There you go. Gecko
Gecko
Piotrowski.
There it is.
I like it. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ginny, what do you go?
I don't know, like Panda Chin.
Panda Chin.
Yeah.
And that's good. That works.
Yeah, Panda Chin. Well, I'd go for Bush Baby Fowler. That's what I'd go for.
Wow.
Yeah, I quite like bush babies though. They're cute. If you see one of these things, they're very cute. They've got big eyes. They've got big, massive eyes like saucers.
I think they look weird.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I go for it, because I look a bit weird. So
You
it's
do
all
look
good.
a bit weird.
I do.
You're a bit weird looking.
Finally,
Like a freak, like a weird freak.
I am a weird freak. Finally,
Like
started...
I always describe you like a fully sized dwarf.
That's it. That's what I am. We will finish this email eventually. Finally,
Like
I
a
started
real,
watching-
just like a dwarf that made it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, congratulations.
I did.
He's got little legs. He's got little dwarfy legs.
Look, just because you're 6'4", everybody looks like a dwarf.
That's true.
That's true. Finally, I started watching the new series of Doctor Who yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Where the Doctor has now regenerated as a woman.
Yeah, she's a woman now.
She's a woman.
Yeah.
After spending the last 55 years as a TV man, albeit a non-human time lord.
No, not a... God damn it. Once again, people have no imagination. He's an interdimensional time lord. I can imagine him going throughout the universe and moving through history, but I can't imagine him having a Y chromosome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't help that he's called a Time Lord, does it?
As opposed to what?
Time person.
Or maybe
A
we
law
don't-
dictates a
don't
male
need
name, though, doesn't
gender.
he? You know, it's like I have no issues. I think she's really good as a doctor, so it doesn't bother me
Hey.
at all.
Let's just move on.
Anyway,
I think
A bit-
Doctor Who is shit.
a bit of a gimmick, I thought, but it was fairly entertaining.
Stu
nonsense.
loves a gimmick.
Look, this is Derek, not me. This is Derek.
You love a gimmick.
So, can you think of any other characters, real or fictional, who might benefit from a gender switch? Here are 3 I came up with after at least 60 seconds of consideration.
Go ahead.
Kill off Daniel Craig at the start of the next James Bond movie and bring in Jane Bond, Agent 008 for the rest of the story.
Sure, why not? That's fine.
The President of the USA, although any sort of change at the current president would probably be a welcome.
Zing! Got that right.
There you go. Protagonists in all future weird and shit JRPGs and Yakuza games where you can make your character male, female, transgender, or ladyboy.
I'm always shocked that they haven't had a female GTA character.
Yeah, I agree. That would be good.
I'm always like interested at what that would look like.
As
A
does Ben
female
Star.
person.
You know, Assassin's Creed. I've never had that. Well,
Yeah, they
Assassin's.
have. They did Liberation. That was
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, let's put it on the Assassin's Creed that no one will play on the fucking
Yeah, exactly.
Vita.
I bought it. I haven't played it.
You know, and they do have on Syndicate and the new one Odyssey. You can choose, but they never go like hard into it, do they? They always it's always like a
I think I play as is it Emily in Syndicate?
yeah, but it's there's always the
I play
choice.
nearly always as her.
Yeah, but like it's always the choice.
They don't make you play as.
They never go right. We're gonna go all in on this female character.
That's because they don't want to alienate the fragile boys who are like, "Hey, want to be a girl?" Yeah.
But then-
every girl forever has had to play as male.
But then the Tomb Raider's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's
Right.
weird.
Well, it's because she got big boobs,
Well,
man.
she did. She
He
doesn't have
doesn't
anymore.
in the new one.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like boobs. See Big
Uh,
Mouth?
But no.
No, but I've heard the second series is very good.
It's a pretty funny show. I like it.
Yeah, I've watched the first series. It is
John
funny.
Mulaney's awesome. Nick Kroll is great, and the woman who plays Missy, which I didn't realize until I watched the video recap of the first season, is Mona Lisa, whatever her name, Raffio on Parks and Rec. The worst.
Brilliant.
Oh, I've just realised in the chat that Corzan told me what my PS4 name was.
Yeah, which is what I said it was.
All right. Thank you.
We don't listen to either.
We got some
Thanks.
people in the chat. I'll just quickly shout them out. Darren, Antonio, Corzan, Soul Brother, Muffa, Motherfucker. Yeah, pay to win. Those people. Hello.
There you go.
Welcome.
There you go. Anyway, we have got more emails, so we better move on, I guess.
Go ahead, move
I
on.
guess so.
I guess so. Yes, the next one's from Robert Owen.
Sweet.
And he says this. Hi guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi guys. Hi. Great show last week.
Was
Thank
it?
you.
Was it though,
It's good,
Robert?
it's a good show.
Was it
I
Robert
never-
Owen? Robert Owen.
My apologies to Stu for pouncing on him at EGX.
How could you?
Didn't mean to freak him out. During our brief chat, I did notice he was looking around furtively. I just thought he was looking for Chinny/Chinner. It never crossed my mind that he was trying to make eye contact with EGX security to come and rescue him. Sorry, mate. It's
Ah.
true. No, it's
It's
not.
usually the
true at
opposite
all.
way around. Usually you can't get rid of Stu.
Exactly. Enjoyed the. Well, you know, I had to be careful because you did some weird. There's lots of weirdos about, isn't there? Let's be honest.
Well,
not
yeah.
saying
But
that
as soon as
Rob's a
somebody
weirdo.
says, somebody suddenly says like, "I listen to the podcast," then they're one of my family. Then you know what I mean? They're in.
Is that right?
That's it. Then
Love. That's
they're a
blood.
brother or a sister. Then it doesn't matter.
You're a
Gender
brother
not
from
matter.
another mother.
Exactly.
Anyway, he says, enjoyed last week's reference to Macbeth. Shame Duke gave up on Blackadder all those years ago.
Mhm.
After watching the terrible first season, attached is a clip from the third season that would fit right in alongside Duke Simpson's sound clip. Enjoy, which I've sent.
Butler, you will not know the great theatre tradition that one does never speak the name of the Scottish play.
What, Macbeth?
Hot potato off the stores, but will make amends.
No, you mean you have to do that every time I say Macbeth?
Will you please stop saying that?
halfway through.
Always call
call it the Scottish play. So you want me to say the Scottish play?
Yes!
Rather than Macbeth.
Say, what is all this hullabaloo, all this shouting and screaming and yelling blue murder? Why, it's like that play we saw the other day. What was it called?
Macbeth, sir?
No. It was called Julius Caesar.
Oh, yes, of course. Julius Caesar. Not Macbeth.
Your Honor, if you take away our right to copy entertainment, where are we gonna get our ideas from? As I said.
Blackadder's a great show. You should watch Blackadder.
Blackadder was great. Yeah, second season onwards were great.
Have you ever watched Alan Partridge, Duke?
Nope.
Oh my god.
So
Oh my
funny.
god. Oh my
You
god.
would love Alan
I'm
Partridge.
so jealous of you. Oh, because then I wish I could delete my memory and watch it again. It's so fucking great. I think you'd like Alan Partridge.
Yeah, you definitely would.
It's called I'm Alan Partridge. It's fantastic.
Anyway, have a great show again this week. Bye for now. Toodle pip, wishy washy, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. Next time,
Robbie.
I want you to punch Stuart in the face.
That's not very nice. Why would you want to do that? He was a nice man.
Because it'll make
Leap
me.
on him, lick him.
It'll
He's
make
a
me.
nice
Yeah,
man,
lick.
leave him
I want you to
alone.
lick Stuart in the face.
What?
Lick him.
Why?
Because
It's
it'll make
weird,
me
huh?
laugh.
Funny.
It'll be funny. And I noticed Robert didn't say hello to me.
Well, he didn't meet you, did he?
Maybe he saw me and went, oh, it's
I think
obviously-
that was potentially Friday when you weren't even there.
Oh. Well, he could have stayed another day or waited outside. It's a bit
No.
selfish, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Right, let's move on. Last
Shit.
email. Here we go. It's
we go.
from Lewis.
Lewis.
And he says this. Hello, veterans. Hope you're all well.
Well.
This week, I got a trial for Game Pass to play Forza, and wow, this game is very good.
Good.
Strangely, though,
Yes.
Hello? Yeah?
Stu, you keep cutting out.
fantastic
You,
game.
Stu, you
keep
cut
cutting
out.
out.
You cut out, Stu.
What?
Cut it
Go from
out.
Strange League again.
Okay.
Take
Strangely, though, that's not what I've played most. I've been playing Bomber Crew.
What the fuck is
and
that?
That is a fantastic game.
Fucking Bomber Crew. Sounds like a poor man's Bomber Man.
I think it's a game you may like, any of you. And I liked it that much on the Game Pass trial, I bought it on my Switch. It is so much fun, and I hope you try it out. It's my birthday soon, so I'm very excited for that. Plus,
Happy
there's
birthday.
happy birthday soon. Plus, there's half term, so that's exciting. It was me who came into Stud Stream on Detroit Become Human. Oh, Stu Stream on Detroit Become Human. I played it at my mate Charlie's house, and it seems good. So now for the big question. What is your favourite genre of video games?
Okay, so Bomber Crew.
Playing games.
Bomber Crew is a mix between like a flying World War II game and Overcooked.
Interesting. That does sound interesting.
By the sounds of it, and maybe not Overcooked, maybe because it doesn't look co-op, but you have to move the characters around the plane.
I see.
Maybe a bit of XCOM in there as well, because you've got a crew and they've got names and you got a pilot. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what game that is. Maybe Lewis could email us next week and tell us what he thinks.
Let us know.
Explain more about this game that we've never played and tell us what it's all about.
So, what's your favourite genre of games, Duke? What did you say?
Open world role playing games.
Open world role playing games.
And elegant puzzle games.
Elegant puzzle games. Stuart.
Probably action games, I guess, action adventure, and possibly sort of walking simulators, I suppose.
And
weird shit.
Mine would be I like third-person action games, like Uncharted and Tomb Raider and things like that. I like open world games. I like my games to be games, like Spider-Man. You know, I do like some role-playing games like Mass Effect and Fallout. There we go.
Yeah, that's similar. I do like the odd role-playing game as well.
Open world, third person, do shit. Red Dead, GTA, Spider-Man. Anyway.
There you go. There's your answer to your question. Now leave us alone.
That's it. And that's it. That's it. All the emails are done. We're done. Just do some shout outs and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, why not? We're almost done.
Why
Where is it? Where's the thing? Oh, there it is.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
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 I'll
Right,
go first.
I'm going first. I'm going first.
First, you loud ass.
Shit. It says you. That's
Yeah,
rich.
you know, that's the joke.
Yeah, I'll get you. Go on, then you go first.
Wow.
I will
I'm
shout out Bethesda
deferred.
Skyrim, and it's awesome. I will shout out Antonio because we're going to play some Rocket League, I guess, maybe at some point eventually. I will shout out Corazan for being in the chat and everybody else who's in the chat, and I don't know exactly who it is, but I appreciate you being there. And I will shout out Stu and Chinny because I like doing this show every week, and so I'm glad you're here and you have me on.
Oh, we don't have you. Well, this is the weirdest thing when you say that. Have me on. You're on because you're on.
Well,
Don't
I
have you on.
like doing this show every week. How's that? Thank you
Good,
for
that's
doing
much better. Much better. Well, I'm going to shout out Josh, of course, who has made the cool EGX video.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's very
Super
good.
cut.
Yeah, that
Very,
was
very-
great. Should have shouted him out too.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Great editing, great cuts, great. Features us a lot, got to say.
Features you a lot.
Features me a lot. I've no idea why, but I'm on it a lot.
I think he.
But
I think
that's
he.
alright, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I think he just saw you as a good source of material.
Yeah, I did pull some weird faces, it's fair to say.
Yeah.
So we're going to shout out Joshy. Obviously, going to shout out you guys, obviously, every week because it's so good. People who listen. And I'm going to shout out Vince Gilligan because, yeah, I've got to say it. Better Call Saul is getting good.
I watched the
It's
first
getting good.
episode of season 4 today.
Oh, I didn't realise you'd been watching it.
I started today.
No, I didn't realise you'd watched up to season 3.
I've talked about it to you before.
Have you? Oh, it shows how my bad my memory is. I'm getting old.
We just finished watching Making a Murderer.
Oh, so good. So good. Good.
And every time I watch it, I go, that's where Duke lives.
Yeah,
Duke
welcome to
lives.
Wisconsin.
So how far are you from, like, all that stuff?
Oh, it's probably like an hour, 2 hours.
But, like, the Amory lot and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, presumably I could go see it if I really wanted to, but I don't really care that much.
Do you have you watched that show?
Yeah, it's good. I thought it was well done.
Good.
But the problem is, of course, that there's problems like that in every police force in the country. Like, it's not unique to that
No.
area. It's more of a systematic problem, but whatever.
What's your opinions on the whole thing and Stephen Avery? I was curious to see what you think, seeing as it's your home, well, where you live.
Yeah, there's a lot of disturbing evidence that he did the second thing, but I think that the fact that he clearly was not guilty of the first thing, and they totally steamrolled Brandon, which is the real tragedy of it.
Is he been released yet? Because they didn't let him out, did they?
Pretty sure he's out.
Yeah, they were like, nah, we'll keep you for a bit longer.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that, like, I'm actually, this is a good thing for me to shout out. Serial, the podcast. Have y'all ever listened to that?
Yeah, the season 3's out now.
I listened to
Season
Shit Town.
3's awesome. The first
is it?
season was good. It was about this guy named Adnan, and
Adnan,
there was
yeah.
this case. It was very interesting. It's kind of like Making of a Murderer, where it's like hard to tell, and in the meantime, they're going to sort of show some things about the justice system as you go.
Second season wasn't as good, was it? It was about that Bo chap. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was
Season
interesting.
2, they went in a different direction, and they were looking at this guy who wandered off. I thought it was very interesting. I'm really interested in his case, but at the end of the day, I think he was just kind of dumb. So
I think
whatever.
it was Bo Bergdahl, wasn't it? And I think,
Yeah.
to be honest, I think the issue there is more psychological about. So
Oh, yeah.
he wasn't happy in serving in the army, and he was so desperate that he would rather walk away than.
Well, and he thought that he was going to be able to get his higher ups to pay attention to the bad situation.
Well, I don't buy that though.
Drastic action.
I feel
Well,
like that's.
You don't. The point is, I think it was an interesting enough story to sustain it for like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
But the fact that it went for such a long time, I don't think it worked.
does
as well
drag.
as
But
the
I think
third season.
he's saying the whole like, oh, I did it to attract attention to it. I was like,
Yeah.
well, like I think you're saying that in post. You know what I mean? I think you left because you had enough, and then
Perhaps.
you're sort of saying it to justify what you did. So I don't buy it.
I mean, no, it's hard to tell. But anyway, the third season is fascinating because they're just going to Cleveland, Ohio, and just following a bunch of different cases around to see how the justice system works on a day-to-day basis. And I find that both fascinating and really important because we tend to get fixated on these extraordinary cases like OJ or the making of a murder case or whatever. But most cases aren't like that. Most cases are much more straightforward, and they don't have any of that, like, ill intent. Well, Mark Furman maybe planted the glove because he was obviously a racist scumbag, but O.J. Simpson almost obviously did it, And in most cases, it's a much more gray area and a much more difficult, but important. It's equally important to look at how quote unquote ordinary cases happen. And I think they're doing a good job with that in this third season of Serial. So if anybody hasn't listened,
do you listen to a podcast called Criminal? Criminal is every episode is a different crime.
Oh, interesting.
And it's fantastic. I absolutely love it.
I got so many podcasts right now. It's ridiculous. Like I can't keep up with all the ones I want to listen to.
No.
It's just there's so much good stuff out there.
There's great things about podcasts is they're so passive. Do you know what I mean? Like you can do them and do other things. So. While
driving. But that's the thing too, is that like my main downtime is when I'm driving. I can wash the dishes, but that's like 20 minutes, right? Brushing my teeth or whatever it is. But, driving is the big one. And my driving is like 20 minutes. And on the way home from school, I often don't feel like listening to podcasts. I want to feel some music. I'm feeling that freedom. So it can be tough.
I do a lot of I always have to phone people in the car because I feel like I don't.
I thought you were going to say you listen to podcasts while you're phoning people.
No. Because I feel like it's the best time to ring them because it's like it's dead time, isn't it? It's like I'm stuck, right? So I've got to ring these people. So I always ring people in my car.
But anyway,
fuck this shit.
Going back to Better Call Saul, you're not going to be disappointed, Ginny. It gets going pretty big.
Yeah, I have to say about just my general. I mean, it's season 4 now, and I feel like the show doesn't sort of feel like it's been swinging. Do you know what I mean? Like it's had some decent moments, but
it's a slow burn for sure.
When you compare it to like Breaking Bad, like. It's just a different show, and
it's not Breaking Bad, is it?
I'm just saying like it's written and directed by, and it's the same crew pretty much that make it. So you kind of always compare it, and I understand that you can't follow Breaking Bad, but I always feel with Better Call Saul that it's fantastic when I'm watching it, but I always forget a lot of it when I don't. Like whereas with Breaking Bad, I remember quite a lot of it. With Better Call Saul, when it did the recap, I was like, oh my god, I forgot most of this stuff.
Did all that happen in the first 3 seasons?
Yeah, I just forgot a lot of it. But when I'm watching it, I love it. I think it's great. It's a great show. I just struggle to remember what's happened in it. But it's a much different show. It's a slower show. It's a show about law. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of law in it, which is very interesting, very very well done. And it started well. The first episode of season 4 was a good episode.
Oh yeah, it goes more Breaking Bad this season.
Oh, good.
I don't mean in so much as like Breaking Bad, but more feeling like, obviously because there's a lot of stuff going on now with characters from the past, shall we say?
Yeah, that's the other thing I don't like about Better Call Saul is that like all the
future. Characters from the future? Should we say?
All the crew sort of comes together. Do you know what I mean? It's all like, hey.
It feels artificial. It feels like, hey, we can put this person in this.
Yeah, moment. It's just. I think people complained about that in Battlefront. Battlefront 2 story mode. It's like this character, like, oh, here's Han Solo, and oh, Luke Skywalker's over there, and like, yeah, they're all like just down the street.
There's a little bit of that, but I do feel it's done in a natural way, so it doesn't feel forced most of the time in Better Call Saul. They do it in a good way, though.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they're there, you know what I mean? Rather than just like the first season, for spoilers for the very first season of Better Call Saul, but Tuco makes an appearance in either the first or second episode of the show.
Yeah.
But the problem with those characters are, you can't kill them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
there's what's going to happen.
But what happens then is the characters that you don't know of, the ones that are new to Better Call Saul, they've got a target on them, right? So any character that's not in Breaking Bad that's new, it was like, well, there's a big target on this person's head. So
they're the ones that you care about more.
It shows the people that can't die, so you know that Gus can't die. Because how they all die, right? So like, then they're untouchable. Doesn't matter. So you got no investment in them. You're never worried about them. You don't care, like, if because they're gonna live.
But it does an interesting thing of filling in the backstory and what.
I don't care most of the time.
Yeah, I do. I find that really interesting to
Like,
find out what motivated.
Sometimes some of it's, but like I just find they're relying a little bit too much on what we know about Breaking Bad rather than like bringing in more characters that are more like most of the characters that are new to Better Call Saul. I'm not really that invested in. And the one that I did like, unfortunately, isn't around anymore. Right, so yeah, it's just that's annoying.
So here's an interesting question for you: how do you think you'd feel watching this had you never seen Breaking Bad?
I think it'd be confusing.
Of course,
because some people do watch this and have never watched Breaking Bad.
I think it's like most of it. Like you wouldn't get as much out of it. You wouldn't go, oh, that's that character, because what was it? I watched a very, very. This is going to be a big left turn, right? But you've got to stick with me, all right? You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
I watched the Absolutely Fabulous movie today, right?
Okay.
Bear with me, right? And the AbFab movie is about fashion, and it's about the fashion industry and models and stuff like that. And a lot of the people it wasn't a very good movie, by the way, but a lot of people in the movie, like, they have like these one-liners, and I was saying to Tara, I was like, I think I'm supposed to know who that is. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the camera saying like, oh, this is a person that you know, and Better Call Saul does a bit of that, where it goes, hey, remember the twins? We're gonna keep the camera on them for like 5 extra seconds that we should, because it's the twins. Right. And whereas
that's the thing with like the Marvel movies, like there's so many things that I don't know about what's going on with those that I'm like, I kind of feel lost at this point.
I'm getting through those as well.
Yeah.
I'm on Doctor Strange now. I've watched Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Civil War. I'm the Doctor Strange. I don't know. They're really dumb movies.
That's the reason I'm not.
They're
even bothered.
fun though. They're fun.
That's
Do you know
fine.
Like they're fun and they're funny, and the characters are fun. Do you know what I mean? And when they say little funny things to each other, they're fun, but they're dumb. Do you know what I mean? You're just like, I don't know, someone's trying to explode something again. Great. Yeah. Are we done?
No, I think you'll enjoy that, but I think we're done.
Oh yeah.
Let's just get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Has everyone done the shout outs? Are we all done?
Right.
I don't know. I don't even know if Chinny did it. Did you do them?
Go ahead,
Chinny. I'd like to shout out Jesus.
Did someone say Jesus?
Jesus, oh how I love you, Jesus.
Brilliant.
The end.
The end. We're done.
Yep.
Yeah.
I graded 0 papers today.
Well done.
Papers.
Woohoo. Take that, students. Who cares about you?
What episode was this?
Not Duke. 458.
Thank you. No, you know what? Look, if I learned recently that thinking about grading papers as a way of showing students that you care about them, I mean, you have to do it, but thinking that you need to kill yourself to get them back instantly, that's not sensible, because what the kids need most from you is a good experience in the classroom. So if I'm going to kill myself grading papers all day Sunday, I'm going to be worn out and not as sharp on Monday. It just doesn't make sense.
Correct. I agree with that.
So, I don't know. I mean, again, you have to do it, and the research does show that students do better if you get feedback quickly. But on the other hand, I think we obsess about the papers, and it's not the most important part of the job by far. So, whatever.
Whatever, Trevor. It's
we
fine.
Watched. What did we watch this? Oh yeah, we watched 8th Grade. Have y'all seen that?
No.
No.
The Bo Burnham movie.
The what movie?
Bo Burnham made a movie.
Oh no, I love Bo Burnham.
Very good. It was really good. I thought it was well written, well acted. The woman, the little, I guess she's kind of a woman, I don't know, preteen, 13-year-old. She did a really good job, and it's just, it ticked all the boxes for me. I was
Bob
worried
Burnham was brilliant.
too far. He's really smart. Like, and he showed,
So
like,
clever.
I've known he's a good musician. He's funny, but this shows he has a good ability to tell a story too. So, yeah, thumbs up. More movies from him, please.
He's a very talented comedian.
Yup.
Oh, I like him.
I like him too. It's kind of hard to keep up with him during his shows because he shifts gears so quickly.
Yeah, he
so
started on Vine.
Really? Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What a man.
All right, guys, I'm out. Have a good
Aye.
evening.
Yep.
And
See you later.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.